Hey, what's up,
Just go to
DB?
linkedin.com/campaign. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna try to throw
linkedin.com/campaign.
it out there,
Terms and
see if
conditions
people are
apply.
interested
Only
in
on
the
LinkedIn app.
highlights.
Chumba
Try to
Casino
get people
brings
to start watching
non-stop
the
fun
highlights.
straight to your screen.
Start to get
Anytime,
people to come by
anywhere.
for the live
Explore
streams.
hundreds of games
Start to get a
like
better
slots,
chat in there, and
blackjack, and instant
I want
scratch
to try
title
to help build
cards.
your channel,
Sign
bro.
up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses, and enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at
You gave me
ChumbaCasino.com.
this idea to do that.
And president of state where
I
it's
went
legal
out
to
and I
play.
bought this game.
Brian Murphy here for Provident Credit Union. And let's talk savings. If you want a smart way to grow your money short term, Provident Credit Union has you covered with Pick a Term certificates. Choose 3, 6, or 12-month terms. Up to 3.40% annual percentage yield, a high dividend rate that can help you reach your goals faster. Newsweek named Provident one of America's best regional credit unions for 2025, so you know your money is in good hands. Whether it's unexpected expenses, a big purchase, or extra financial flexibility, Provident makes it easy to hit your short-term goals. Their financial coaches are on your team, helping you plan smart and stay ahead. So if you're ready to grow your savings, check out Provident Credit Union's Pick a Term certificates. Visit providentcu.org or your local branch to get started. Rate is effective November 15th, 2025. Minimum balance of $10,000. Early withdrawal penalties may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Provident Credit Union. Discover the best in retail and business banking right here in your community. Start your savings today.
Drink responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
The college football playoff
Appreciate
isn't
that
over.
like. Thank you.
Not yet. That big run, that wild dream.
You have a
Over
great
till
new
the
year.
clock hits 0. Till the stadium shakes. Till things are let loose. Till the trophy is lifted
You got
and the confetti
Georgia,
falls.
Ole Miss
This
coming
is
up
the national championship.
in about 10 minutes.
When it's over,
10, 15 minutes.
feel it. This is the wild world of college football. The CFP National Championship, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the minimum tax deduction and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
At Wrangler, we know the essential question for any guy is, can I go like this? It could be date night, boys' night, work, or your nephew's school play. It could be anything. And the last thing you want to do is change. That's why Wrangler makes jeans, shirts, jackets, and tees that answer yes to life's essential question. You can go in Wrangler. Check out our latest styles today at Wrangler.com. Wrangler for the ride of life.
All right, Mom and Dad, that's enough screen time for today.
I literally just saved us more money finding 2 subscriptions we forgot about with Navy Federal Credit Union's mobile app.
Yeah, and I just protected our credit from cringe fraudsters with their security tech.
Don't you want to spend some time on social media?
Will social media help us manifest your college tuition?
Get the best banking ever with one of America's top-rated digital banking experiences, Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information.
Fires down the seam, center of the field. One-arm catch, Jamari Johnson. Touchdown, Oregon. Dickey, the running back, off to the right side. Ran into the end zone, untouched. And a score for Texas Tech. college playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now with college football live, here's Jim Basquill.
It is take two for Georgia and Ole Miss, who met in a scintillating Week 8 matchup in Athens, won by the Dogs 43-35, scoring 17 unanswered in the fourth quarter. The only blemish on the season for this Rebel team, who proved they could win without ex-coach Lane Kiffin in a one-sided opening round win over Tulane in the college football playoffs here. Georgia, they are here yet again, 50th meeting all-time between these two schools. In that first matchup, the Rebs led after 3 quarters. But Georgia got it done, getting back to the Sugar Bowl for a second straight season. So take two for these schools. The Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio is presented by Allstate. Some people just know you could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Visit allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. 3 teams already into the semis. 1 to go between the Rebs and Dogs, who do it again from the Big Easy. That final spot in the All-State Sugar Bowl. For the call, let's send you to our team in New Orleans, Louisiana. Cole Kubelik, Matt Stinchcomb, and Taylor Zarzer.
Here we
Jim,
go.
stopping grounds, the Caesars Superdome on a beautiful first night in 2026 for the 92nd edition of the All-State Sugar Bowl, a game that started on this day 1935 that has been played every single season since. It always has featured an SEC team, and for the 4th time ever, it features 2 of them, the 3rd-ranked Georgia Bulldogs and the 6th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels. The winner plays Miami in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl a week from tonight.
Thank you.
Hall of Famer Matt Stinchcomb is here with me in the booth. I'm Taylor Zarzer. Kubelik's on the field. We'll get to him in just a moment. What do you think is relevant, Matt, about that first meeting?
Know each other?
First referenced in
Damn.
October when Georgia
Small
came
world.
storming back to win 43-35.
Well, the takeaway if you're Ole Miss is that you have to finish strong, especially if you expect to win a game versus the University of Georgia. They're built for that fourth quarter slugfest. It's actually kind of their comfort zone. And what was evident in that first game was that Ole Miss, I don't want to say that they were frantic, but they almost ran themselves out of gas there towards the second half. Defensively, they got tired. Offensively, Chambliss had a couple of off-target throws. Otherwise, they were clicking, but it was a matter of time. And I think there will be a little bit more judicious.
Kirby Smart's one of the best there is in the game. He's won 2 national championships, 117 victories, and this team has gotten better and better as the season has gone along. Meanwhile, Pete Golding is in his 2nd game as a head coach in college football after Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss at the end of the regular season to become the head coach at LSU. Be interesting to see how much that factors in to the game tonight. Our game plan is brought to you by LinkedIn. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/CFB. Terms and conditions apply. Let's go to the field and get the game plan from Cole Kubelik.
Well, guys, I spoke to Pete Golding, Ole Miss head football coach, before the game, and he was very detailed with what went wrong with his defense last time against this Georgia offense. And we talked about the complications of everything that Georgia runs, how Bobo is going to vary the tempo, how they're going to change up just how they get to the line of scrimmage. They're going to huddle at times. They're going to muddle huddle at times. They'll sprint to the line of scrimmage, then look over, wait to get a call in, all trying to play with Pete Golding's defense. He said the personnel group is very difficult to match. And he said because a lot of what happened ended after that play clock was under 15 seconds, it put a lot on his inside linebackers last week. His plan this time around is to be much more aggressive, see ball, get ball, so to speak, be more of an attacking style football team rather than a read and react to what Georgia wants to do team in tonight's Sugar Bowl. Told Georgia, from that perspective, spoke to Kirby Smart before the game as well, and he said, like Matt just echoed, we have to play 4 quarters of football. We think physicality is going to decide this game. Actually had miniature football games on when they would have played the
Guys, make your picks in the chat. Who you got? Ole Miss, Georgia.
What is going to say tonight? Because we know now, guys, the mantra flying around college football is the teams that have had a week off can't find a way to win in this new 12-team playoff.
It's a great point until Indiana just beat Alabama. The first 6 teams that had a bye had lost in this new
Don't take a shot at
12-team
Ole Miss.
format, but Indiana just whipped Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Georgia won the toss. They
I'm gonna
deferred.
bank on
Ole
Georgia
Miss
not being able
will
to move the
receive.
football.
This is the 11th Sugar Bowl appearance for the Rebels. They have a 6-4 record. They went 7 times in 12 years in the 50s and 60s. Of course, the 1970 MVP, their most famous alum ever, Archie Manning. He's in the house tonight. And I would say it's about 65-35.
Yeah.
Ole Miss fans over Georgia, who's making their 13th trip to the game. They're 5-7 in the Sugar Bowl.
It really has been evident all week long that the Ole Miss faithful, they are excited.
You guys
to get
got
out to
Ole
that
Miss.
first round. And regardless of what's happened in transition from a coaching staff standpoint, they love their prospects here in the playoff this season, and especially in a rematch versus a team that many around that program felt as if they easily could have come away with a victory had they played a little bit better on the road in Athens. That's not a visiting environment, this game for Ole Miss. This is almost a home field with the way the fan base is broken up.
Georgia's wearing their red jerseys with gray breeches and red helmets. Ole Miss in all white tonight with blue numbers. And we're ready to go, and Woodring will kick it deep to Isaiah Hartrip, who's standing in the end zone. The final game in the quarterfinals in the college football playoff is underway in New Orleans as Woodring puts his right foot in, and Hartrip will return it. Nope, he'll go over his head, and it'll bounce in the end zone. It's a touchback. So Trinidad Chambliss comes out, the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, transferred in from Ferris State, where he won a Division II national championship last year. Austin Simmons hurt in week 2. Chambliss has been the starter ever since. He finished behind Gunnar Stockton, 8th in the Heisman race in his first year as a starter at the FBS level. He has Kewan Lacey, one of the best backs in America, that's out there on the field that was positioned to his right, but Lacey's now in the slot. Chambliss is in shotgun. Lacey comes back to him. He fakes to him, throws a short ball in the slant that is caught past the 30 up to the 32. Caden Lee, the junior from Kennesaw, Georgia, makes the catch. 7 yards for the Rebels on the first play, and they go quickly. It'll be 2nd and 3 from their own 32-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun with Lacey to his left. Hands to Kewan. He tries to go straight at the Dogs. He might have gotten a yard before he was tackled up front by Kristen Miller. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Ole Miss.
Well, you can see already somewhat of a frantic start. Take a breath, buddy. Don't pass out on me. 3rd and short. But they've already plays. Multiple shifts from a formation standpoint.
On 3rd and 2. Chambliss hands to Lacey again. Lacey right at Georgia, and he gets the first down. The 35 to 37-yard line on his 2nd rushing attempt. He now has the most in school history in a season with 75. It was a big one. First down, Rebels.
Well, Lacey is a prolific runner, among the best in the country, certainly in the conference. Nice patient run, great cut in the backfield to find daylight to get the first.
1st and 10, Ole Miss at their own 37-yard line. Chambliss takes a shotgun snap, throws short to Caden Lee. Lee in the flat is tackled at the line of scrimmage. K.J. Bolden, the sophomore from Buford, Georgia, with the open field tackle. No gain for Ole Miss on the play.
What will be interesting in this game, Taylor, whether or not Georgia will play from a coverage standpoint off. So far, they've been much tighter, closer to the line of scrimmage. No easy access throws, unlike the regular season matchup.
Chambliss in shotgun will fake the handoff inside Lacey, roll to the right row, and it's at the feet of his intended target, Caden Lee. It was a ball that was thrown low to Lee. Lee could not make the catch. 3rd and 10. At their own 35.
Moving the pocket that time, getting Trinidad Chambliss out onto the edge. That ball was just too low to handle. We'll see if Georgia tries to heat up Chambliss at a difficult time, getting on the ground early. They're showing pressure here.
37-yard line. Chambliss in shot. 3rd and 10. Chris right back as he takes the snap. Throws and it's incomplete. Elijah Griffin looking downfield. And incomplete. Elijah Griffin at the pressure on Ole Miss. And Ole Miss will punt Cole on the first drive of the game.
A lot of what Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator, told me, though, you heard Matt Stinchcomb mention moves the pocket. You heard the tempo as well. Go fast. Not as much Keewan Lacy, though, as I might have imagined early in that drive.
The first punt of the game came in the fourth quarter, the first time these two played. It comes in the first quarter tonight with the 24-year-old true freshman Australian Oscar Bird, who punts to Zachariah Branch, who fields at the 15. Up past the 20. He's tackled past the 25 as a burst of speed got him near the 27-yard line. It's a 47-yard punt, and it's a 10-yard return. Well, we mentioned that Chambliss finished 8th in the Heisman voting. Gunnar Stockton finished 7th. He made his first career start in this game last year after Carson Beck was injured. Stockton this year, sensational. 3 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. And Matty was the SEC championship game MVP.
And interestingly, that 71% completion percentage is even better versus ranked opponents completing nearly 3/4 of his passes. 74% completions, outstanding efficiency when they needed Gunnar Stockton the most versus their most difficult opponents this season.
No score, 13:02 to go, first quarter. Georgia has the ball going from left to right. Stockton is under center. He'll turn and fake the handoff to Nate Frazier. Pull out and pass to Oscar Delp. And Delp has the first down the right sideline. He picks 16. The tight ends beat Ole Miss in the first game. And on the first play, Delp has 16 yards from Stockton.
Well, right out of the gate, something that Cole had mentioned that Golding and their staff were aware of, the play action passing. They see so many different formations and looks. That was run action. They pulled an offensive lineman, able to get moving and easy to the open side.
Georgia's up to their 43-yard line. Stockton's in shotgun. He has Frazier to his left. He'll come up to the line and make a catch. And ball comes back into the shotgun with Frazier to his left. Claps his hand, throws short. It's Frazier at the catch. That's 40-45. He's on the move near midfield before he's tackled by Wydett Williams. Nice play out of the backfield for the Dogs that yields 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3 at midfield for Georgia.
But already you can see the role tight ends play in this Georgia offense. A completion to Oscar Delp, and he was effectively the lead blocker on that completion.
Stockton takes the shotgun snap, stands tall, and now will take off and lower his head and dive over the 45-yard line for another Georgia first down. They're now in Ole Miss territory.
Well, you can see Georgia, we were talking about earlier how sometimes they'll huddle, sometimes they'll kind of muddle huddle, which is where you just kind of gather right over the football and then quick break. The challenge that makes for a defense is that they don't necessarily see what that formation is going to be, so you snap it quickly. It's different from when you just stand over the football. The defense is able to get a long look at what you're going to look like from a formation standpoint.
Stockton has Frazier to his left. It's 1st and 10 at the Ole Miss 45. He'll come back up to the line of scrimmage. Talk to his offensive lineman and go back into shotgun and sends Branch in motion. 1-0, got the play off as he takes the shotgun snap. Drifts back, wants to launch downfield. One-on-one ball, Branch. It's incomplete. Thrown out of bounds. Jalen Brack looks right there. With Branch at 2nd and 10.
And one of the things that was hit on is how Georgia will hold the snap. It's not just from a possession standpoint. Part of it, too, is they don't want that communication, that live communication in that microphone in the defense's head. That time, they narrowly missed getting a delay of game penalty.
11:03 is left on the game clock as Georgia's cross midfield, no score. Stockton, line of scrimmage, ball to Branch. Branch in the flat, trying to get loose. Didn't get anything there. Tackled out of bounds where that ball was snapped by Wydett Williams. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Georgia.
That was good anticipation by the Ole Miss defense. Wydett Williams, he spun down late, so the numbers changed. It looked like it would make sense to spit the ball out onto the perimeter, and by the time the ball had been snapped, Ole Miss changed the numbers. They had enough defenders to make that play at the line of scrimmage.
Listen to this Rebels crowd at the Superdome in New Orleans yelling at Gunnar Stockton on a 3rd and 10 from Ole Miss's 44-yard line. Cass Jones is the back. Stockton takes the shotgun snap. He has plenty of time. Nobody open. He'll throw downfield, and it is incomplete over the head of Jones, who had come out of the backfield and gone downfield, but he was covered up downfield by Suntarian Perkins. It's 4th down, Cole.
Looked like a little bit of a push-off maybe from Cash Jones right before both players went up to attack the football. Ended up being overthrown. Not sure the ball was even catchable if the official wanted to throw a flag, but it looked clean to me on both sides.
Brett Thorson never punted against Ole Miss. He's punting in the first quarter for Georgia here. The Ray Guy Award winners trying to pin Ole Miss deep, and it's caught at the 1-yard line. Georgia catches it on the fly at the 1 where London Humphreys made the fair catch. They might give it closer to the 2. We'll see the spot, but regardless, Ole Miss is pinned deep. With 10:14 to go in the first quarter, no score between Ole Miss and Georgia. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Brian Murphy here for Provident Credit Union. And let's talk savings. If you want a smart way to grow your money short term, Provident Credit Union has you covered with Pick a Term certificates. Choose 3, 6, or 12-month terms and earn up to 3.40% annual percentage yield, a high dividend rate that can help you reach your goals faster. Newsweek named Provident one of America's best regional credit unions for 2025, so you know your money is in good hands. Whether it's unexpected expenses, a big purchase, or extra financial flexibility, Provident makes it easy to hit your short-term goals. Their financial coaches are on your team, helping you plan smart and stay ahead. So if you're ready to grow your savings, check out Provident Credit Union's Pick a Term certificates. Visit providentcu.org or your local branch to get started. Rate is effective November 15th, 2025. Minimum balance of $10,000. Early withdrawal penalties may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Provident Credit Union. Discover the best in retail and business banking right here in your community. Start your savings today.
DevZone.org. Jim Bass Welcome Studio. We are presented by LinkedIn with today's trivia questions brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Brandon Finney and the Oregon D had plenty of it today.
Morton in the gun. Tight end right. 3 receivers left. Looks up. Barron waits on the clock. Now he'll throw for the corner. Aiken intercepted. Brandon Finney, another takeaway. Intercepted by Finney. He's now got 2 in the game, 3 on the season, and a fumble recovery. Not bad for a true freshman.
Indeed, Wes Durham. Brandon Finney Jr. for Oregon. 3 takeaways in that 23-0 win over Texas Tech. The question is, he's the second player with 3 takeaways in a college football playoff game in history. Who was the other? Again, tribute brought to you by Dr. Pepper. A full season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Still searching for our first points in this All-State Sugar Bowl. 10:14 left in the first quarter. We go back to the Superdome with Cole, Matt, and Taylor.
The last time these two teams played in October, they scored on the first 11 possessions. Neither scored. Both punted the first time they had the football. This gets it again, and they'll have it at their own 2 to start drive number 2. Trinidad Chambliss is standing in the middle of his end zone in shotgun. Kewan Lacey is to his right. Ole Miss moving from right to left here in New Orleans. Chambliss waiting on a shotgun snap. Still has 10 seconds on the play clock. 10:14 on the game clock.
You know, Taylor, a lot of times you expect run, but you see teams sometimes take a shot on the first down.
1 second left on the play clock, and he hands off to Lacey. Lacey's going to try the right side, and he's got daylight over the 10, where he's gang tackled by dogs, including K.J. Bolton, with some breathing room for the Rebels, an 8-yard pickup.
Nice run. This is what you have to have when you're coming out offense. You're backed up. The key is you have to get first down. Nothing else. You're going to keep your defense trying to beat that.
Actually, closer to the stands again. Lacey has the left side. He breaks a pocket. The outside. Jake Bolton, he goes out of bounds. 14 more. At the line of scrimmage, and Lacey makes a pay.
Well, that's what it does. Probably better than any other back in the country. Not an easy guy to get on the ground. Georgia had an opportunity. Elijah Griffin was in the backfield, just couldn't get him down, bounced to the outside for back-to-back big game runs. And all of a sudden, the field position hole has been erased by the Rebel offense.
Ole Miss is out to their own 27-yard line. Pressure coming from Georgia. Chambliss is going to have to get rid of it. He does. Goes over the left side. Harrison Wallace. An open field tackle by C.J. Allen. The first team All-American tackles him after a short game. Still can't believe Allen's out there, Matt. Meniscus knee surgery, if you want to call it that, after the Texas game. He missed one game, and here he is back after playing against Tech, Alabama, and here he is in the Sugar Bowl.
Well, high-five that. He looked like for a step. Standing open field tackle right there. That was textbook defense on the perimeter by the Georgia defense.
2nd and 8. Lacey's out of the game. Diggs is in. Chambliss shotgun throws over to Logan Diggs in the left.
What's up, Rob?
He's past the 30. He's on his feet. He stays in bounds. And he tiptoes the sideline near a first down. C.J. Allen, Brent pushed him out. But Logan Diggs, who grew up near here in Boutte, Louisiana, has a first down catch for the Rebels.
Well, Diggs channeling his inner Kejuan Lacey does a great job of running through the would-be tackle of DeMello Jones, who was in good position. But he ran that ball like a running back, out in space, almost like a long handoff. A real challenge and another first.
1st and 10, Ole Miss near the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, no score. Shotgun snap. Chambliss throws short to Harrison Wallace, and Wallace, a good play up near the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down with just over 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. Ole Miss will get the ball near the 44.
Well, Taylor, regardless of what happens on this drive, whether Ole Miss scores or not, this is a successful possession.
Ole Miss is moving the football right.
The midfield is good.
2nd and 3, direct snap. Chambliss is going to keep it himself, try the left side. He steps out of bounds right near a first down marker. We'll see where he spotted. And they're giving him a first down at the 40, at his own 47-yard line.
Well, right now, Ole Miss doing a great job of getting the ball out in space. Well, that time,
It's tough to punch it in against Georgia. They're like Ohio State or Indiana. Don't give up much time.
And out into the open field. Right now, an excellent rhythm offensively.
This is in the backfield. The top receivers in the pattern. He's in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks left. Now will roll over to the right. Looks downfield. Throws. It's caught. Harrison Wallace makes the catch in Georgia territory for another first down inside the 40-yard line.
You know, it took a possession in this game, well, maybe for both offenses, but certainly for Ole Miss. This is far more reminiscent of the regular season matchup where the defenses were very much on their heels.
14-yard pickup from Chambliss to Wallace down inside the 40 at the Georgia 39. Shotgun snap to Chambliss, drifting back, throws, it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Quintavious Johnson swatted it right back in Chambliss' face. The sophomore from Atlanta makes it 2nd and 10. Cole, what a drive Ole Miss has going here.
I want to go to the personnel groupings also. We've seen Daquan Wright tight end lined up tailback. We've seen him lined up out wide. Both running backs have been lined up out wide. And on that last play, Winston Watkins, freshman receiver, lined up as a bit of an H-back. So Charlie Weiss Jr. breaking out all the formations with different personnel groupings as well.
2nd and 10 for Ole Miss. No score between Georgia and Ole Miss first quarter. That's Stinchcomb, Colt Cubic, and Tanner Zarzer here with you. Trinidad Chambliss on an inside handoff to Kejuan Lacey, and Lacey has Dalen Everett drag him to the ground inside the 40, down near the 38. A minimal gain there. It'll be 3rd down.
When you think back to that batted ball by Quintavious Johnson and then minimal gain on that one, is that enough for defense for Georgia to finally kind of get their feet underneath them and set their cleats? Otherwise, this Ole Miss offense has been able to put the pressure and stand on the gas this entire possession.
It's 3rd and 9 inside the 6-minute mark of the first quarter as Ole Miss is threatening right on the cusp of field goal range. In shotgun, Chambliss looks right, throws, and it's incomplete. Dalen Everett was all over Dejon Stribling. It'll be now 4th and 9. And what does Ole Miss do here? It would be about a 56, 57-yard field goal attempt. And Lucas Carnero is going to come onto the field. One of the best in college football. The junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, with his next ties the school record in a season with 25 makes. This is a long one. It is indoors, but it's just over 55 yards. Joshua Piper is the holder. Oscar Bird is the holder. Carter Short is the snapper. And Carnero to give Ole Miss the lead from 55 yards right down the middle. Ole Miss scores first with 5:47 to go here in the first quarter. Ole Miss 3, Georgia nothing. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the
Ole
ESPN
Miss
app.
goes up 3-0.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on October 2nd, 1993. University of California faced a 30-0 halftime deficit to Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 42-11 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory, one of the largest comebacks in college football history.
ServPro, like it never even happened. Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. 23 are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big L.
Hey, what's up,
College
Madison?
football, it's a pepper thing.
They're down right now.
People in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. So knows they like the slower pace of RV life. Like this commercial. They will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now, best part. You're listening to the Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
5:47 to go, first quarter. Ole Miss leads Georgia 3-0 with Cole Kublik and Matt Stinchcomb on Taylor Zarzer. Pete Golding is from Hammond, Louisiana. Just about an hour away from here is where he grew up. He went to Delta State in Mississippi. He was, of course, defensive coordinator for Alabama for 5 years before coming to Ole Miss to be the defensive coordinator there for 3 years, before being elevated to his wife Carolyn's alma mater, Ole Miss, as the permanent head coach. And Matty has 6 assistants that are coaching with him tonight that are expected to go to LSU with former head coach Lane Kiffin once Ole Miss season is over.
Yeah, beyond just the divided allegiances and really the attention more than anything else, the logistics alone, they're somewhat proximate to one another. You can't be in 2 places at the same time, both physically and mentally. It has taken a toll, taxing on that coaching staff. As challenging as it is for the players, the coaches, where they've got really this dual role now for 2 entirely different teams that are in the same conference. It's been a real challenge, but so far, especially offensively, you get the defensive stop, and then you're able to put together 11-play, 60-yard drive to get that field goal off your own goal line. Really impressive start for Ole Miss right now.
Charlie Weiss Jr. is one of those coaches, by the way, calling the plays on an 11-play, 60-yard drive that ended with a field goal. Lucas Carnero will kick it deep to Georgia. It goes over their head, and Georgia gets it at the 25 with Mike Bobo calling the plays for the Dogs, Cole.
And I talked to Austin Armstrong at the Texas Bowl. He's the Houston defensive coordinator a little bit earlier this bowl season. And he brought up Mike Bobo saying he was the best at mixing how the players come to the line of scrimmage and when they actually snap the football. So I followed up with Pete Golding about that before the game, and he said there's no doubt he's one of the most difficult that we've ever prepared for with how they get out of the huddle, when do they get to the line of scrimmage, where that personnel grouping is going to line up, and even what personnel grouping it is. One of the bigger challenges for that Ole Miss defense here tonight.
So complex, yet Gunnar Stockton has been outstanding managing it at quarterback. He's in shotgun at his own 25-yard line. Fakes to Frazier, throws to Branch. Branch in the flat over the 25, is driven out of bounds after a minimal gain. Jalen Braxton, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas, there on the stop. They'll give him the 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Georgia.
So far, what's impressive to me, not only the Ole Miss defense tackling in space, but how quickly they are rallying to the perimeter throws. Georgia, repeatedly this season, will move the line of scrimmage, get the ball to Zachariah Branch in space, back-to-back possessions now. The opening of this possession with Ole Miss defense makes a great tackle out there.
Mike Bobo tells Gunnar Stockton to go under center and hand to Nate Frazier, and Frazier straight ahead, physical run. Picks up 6, maybe 7 yards up near the 34-yard line, just short of the first down. Frazier, third-team All-SEC runner, made 9 starts this year, the sophomore from Compton, California, and he was running behind Malachi Tolliver, who's starting at center for the injured Drew Bobo, who injured his leg in the last regular season game against Georgia Tech. Frazier's out. Chauncey Bowens is now in on a 3rd and 1.5. And Stockton takes a shotgun snap, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage as he tries to throw over the middle of the field. It was Taj Chambers. He got his hand on it. It's 4th down for Georgia, and it's a 3-and-out.
Well, it started with this possession with the perimeter defense by Ole Miss, and then they had a double-barrel blitz. You blitz 2 backers for the back. The back can only pick up one of them. Second blitzer comes free, gets his hands up. Georgia lucky that deflection didn't come down in an Ole Miss defender's arms and have the opportunity to punt this football away.
Thorson, who has the best net punting average in Georgia history at 42.8. The Ray Guy Award winner for the top punter in the country is out there for a second time. Punts it deep to Wallace, who makes the fair catch at the 20-yard line. That'll be a 48-yard punt. No return, 4:23 to go in the first quarter. Ole Miss 3, Georgia nothing. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish check, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Jim Baswell from our LinkedIn studios with this scoreboard update. It's brought to you by Venmo. Score more with the college-branded Venmo debit card. The Venmo MasterCard issued by Bancorp Bank N.A., the nation's top-ranked team, looking every bit of it today.
Second down and goal. 21 seconds to go. They have play fake. Goes up next. First back to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Omar Cooper Jr. hadn't been targeted today. The second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner. The hardest decision for Fernando Mendoza on that play was which open receiver was he going to throw it to?
That's Kelly Stauffer, Mark Kessler on the call here on ESPN Radio. 3 scoring strikes for the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza. All Hoosiers 38-3 over the Tide. They get the Ducks for a round 2 matchup in the semis. Meantime, the Rebs defense tough in their first 2 drives, up 3-0, 4:23 left in the opening quarter. We go back to New Orleans with Cole Kubelik, Matt Stinchcomb, and Taylor Zarzour.
Jim, it is 3-0 because Lucas Carnero kicked the longest field goal in Sugar Bowl history, a 55-yarder, the last time Ole Miss got the football. John Carroll made one back in 1972 that was 53 yards. It stood for 54 years. Ole Miss has the ball back at their own 19-yard line with 4:23 to go here in the first quarter. Trinidad Chambliss is in shotgun. Kewan Lacey next to him. He throws short to Dejon Stribling up the left sideline. And Stribling is hit immediately by Dalen Everett. It'll be a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6 for the Rebels.
You know, the challenge for the Georgia defense on this possession is you got to tackle better. You think back to that very first play, first 2 plays, really, coming off the goal line, you got an opportunity to ball the receiver on the move. You have to be able to do so. Ole Miss was able to capitalize on that.
Georgia, Ole Miss from their own 24. Shotgun snap, high snap. Chambliss handles it and hands it off to Lacey around the left side. And Kewan has a first down. He picks up 11 yards. That was an awkward exchange. Yet Lacey still able to get a first down.
And again, repeatedly, Ole Miss able to get the ball out on the perimeter, either throwing the football out quickly and allowing the blocks to develop in front or running to the perimeter.
At the 34-yard line, Chambliss fakes the handoff, will throw downfield. It's caught. Climbing the ladder down in Georgia territory is Harrison Wallace III. Wallace makes the big catch for 22 yards and a Rebel first down.
Matched up with Ja'Cory Thomas. An excellent job of going up, using that length. Harrison Wallace at 6'1", used every inch of it to make that completion.
4-year Penn State player playing his final year at Ole Miss. Now Chambliss will hand to Lacey. Lacey took that snap at the 44-yard line. He runs inside the 40, down to the 39. Tackle Joseph Jonah Ajonia. It'll be 2nd down and long for Ole Miss.
What's impressed me too but this? Kewan Lacey, he had a defender on him right at the line of scrimmage. Every bit of that yardage was with the defender on his back effectively. His yards after contact early in this game has been impressive given his injury.
They gave him 5 yards, a 2nd and 5. Another high snap. Chambliss handles it, throws a one-on-one ball. It's incomplete. Trying to get it down there to Deuce Alexander, but Ellis Robinson IV was there with Alexander stride for stride and broke it up. It's 3rd and 5.
Well, one of the things that Georgia's gotten so much better at, although I think in looking back on the replay, Ellis Robinson had a little bit of jersey, a little bit of time. So far in this game, it does seem as if the officials are out for some contact on some of these downfield throws.
2:21 to go, first quarter, 3-0 Ole Miss. They have a 3rd and 5 at Georgia's 39-yard line. Chambliss is in shotgun. 5 seconds left on the play clock. He's talking to Diggs about it with 2, and they're going to have to call timeout. Pete Golding's Rebels will use their first timeout here of 3 in the first half.
It's an interesting inflection point for Georgia defensively. In the regular season, rather, that defense actually got much better after the contest versus Ole Miss. And part of it was a mentality shift where they're saying, look, we have to be more aggressive. Really, both teams in this game, where the goal is we can't sit back and allow that offense, or either offense, to play the way that it did in the regular season matchup. You run out of gas, you kill your horses. So far in this game, Ole Miss has done an excellent job of maintaining possessions, regardless of field position start.
I can tell you guys, I asked Ole Miss offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss Jr. before the game about tempo, about pace, and the reason I asked him is because I heard Pete Golding mention how they have to rotate their defensive tackles a little bit more, and they have to take care of their guys on defense to be more fresh in the fourth quarter. And he said, no, we will step on the gas. We are going full speed in this game, and we are going to utilize tempo to every advantage possible to try to take advantage of that Georgia defense.
But if they do that, they can run away from Georgia, then that's an advantage. The challenge is going to be to run and you punch yourself out. It's kind of similar in that regular season game. And then they were on tempo the entire game just about. And in that quarter, it's a different ballgame. Otherwise, you're talking about an evenly matched teams. You're playing on the road. That was the difference, is how that came in. But they can put the margin of difference for that team complexion entirely.
Hey, Steve, I want to go back quickly to the second part earlier this drive. You mentioned Charlie.
Good snap, good hold. Carnero puts his right down the heart. Lucas Carnero has now more field goals this season. 26. Ever. That's the all-time score. It's 2 field goals tonight. Give Ole Miss the early
for another 10 yards back. He hammered that ball, landed almost actually in the hands of the All-State. I mean, it was halfway to the net by the time it got in there.
Both kickers and punters are best in the game. Narrow, Peyton Woodring of Georgia are fantastic in that. Here, the punter for Georgia won the top punting award, the Ray Guy Award, and Oscar Burton is one of the best in all college football. So the kicking game has made a difference here early in this one. Ole Miss will kick it back to Georgia, up 6-0.
Ole Miss up 6-0.
Will kick to Zachariah Branch and Cash Jones, who are waiting in the end zone at the 1-yard line. Already 114 total yards for Ole Miss. Georgia just 37. It's a touchback that goes through the end zone. It's activated.
I'm going to go back to what Matt Stinchcomb said in the previous drive when it ended. Hand the football off. Run the football. Your big advantage in this game should be the physicality. Should be the screen. We saw runs good. It's not as good or deep maybe a season ago. But this Georgia offense leaned on some pretty good defenses late in the season. That, to me, was where Coach Bobo should go to try and...
Georgia 6-0 here. 2:13 to go. Stinchcomb and Taylor Zarzour with you in the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Georgia's Gunnar Stockton is under center. He will turn and he will hand to Nate Frazier, trying the left side with daylight and a hard physical run over the 35 up to the 38-yard line. 13 yards for Frazier and down for Georgia.
Yep, prescription filled, right? You heard Cole talking about it. Get the ground game going. Only the third handoff of the entire game. It's been productive, and that was an impressive run. Dominating on the left side. And incidentally, it was a wide receiver, London Humphrey, who downed the football after the first offensive possession for Georgia. The wide receiver getting a nice block at the point of attack.
Stockton's under center again at his own 38-yard line. Frazier is the back. And again, they turn it in to Frazier straight behind the center, and he goes up over the 40, near the 44-yard line. Frazier, the sophomore from Compton, California, picks up 6 more. Georgia, 54% of their players, Matt, are second-year players at Georgia. 19 first-time starters this season for Georgia, which is why this team's gotten better and better as the year has gone along.
Young football team. You know, Georgia's built differently from most football teams, especially in the college football playoff. A lot of them were recruited out of high school, and of them are young. These are not graduate players out there.
Redshirt freshman Chauncey Bowen's in the game. Stockton fakes to him, and he rolls out to the right. On the move, throws, and a pass that's caught. What a catch by Colby Young. Young made a catch between two defenders for 11 yards in Ole Miss territory. Young, who hasn't played since he fractured his leg in the first Ole Miss game, just made a difficult catch in Ole Miss territory at the end, or near the end of the first quarter. What a grab by Colby, and now Georgia will have a first down at the Ole Miss 43-yard line. Stockton in shotgun. He'll hand to Bowens. Bowens runs straight at Ole Miss inside the 40, down inside the 38 for 6 more. That'll be the last play of the first quarter, Matt, as Georgia is now breathing some life into the offense. At the end of the first quarter, the score is Ole Miss 6, Georgia nothing. This is a college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first. Before
Hey, what's up, Destiny?
in this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line.
Who do you got in this game? You got Ole Miss, you got Georgia.
Okay, Kirk.
Stuff. Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus, Hulu, and the ESPN app for one incredible price. With the
ESPN app, you can watch some of football's biggest postseason games, including epic bowl matchups, the College Football Playoff, and NFL Wild Card and Divisional Playoff games. Get it all for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Visit Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPNBundle.com for details. Ad-supported plan auto-renews at regular price. Currently $35.99 a month. Subject to change unless canceled. Ends January 5th, 2026. Terms apply.
The college football playoff isn't over. Not yet. That epic run, that wild dream, not over till the clock hits zero. Till the stadium shakes. Till the wild things are let loose. Till the trophy is lifted and the confetti falls. This is the national championship. When it's over, you'll feel it. This is the wild world of college football. The CFP National Championship, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and
glitches out
Medicare
sometimes
benefits
in
check
between
as
quarters,
easy as
where it
that's
won't go back to the game.
888-665-0696.
First down inside. First down, Georgia.
I got to tell you, you watch football, and it's a lot of the running back that's having to do some work, break tackles. Right here, the Georgia offensive front is getting off on the Ole Miss defensive line. Excellent push. These running backs are able to get downhill right now. There's no contact in the first 3-4 yards of some of these.
Stockton under center, the turn hand again. Frazier following great blocking is inside the 20, spins and twists inside the 15, down to the 12, taking Rebels with him. 16 more yards for Frazier, just following his center Malachi Tolliver straight down the.
I mean, it's just a gash. Now, what they're catching, Ole Miss, some of these, and I can't even tell if it's a rundown stunt or a bad read, but at linebacker, they're over-pursuing. There's no real good reason to do that. He's not doing anything to stretch the defense laterally. These are downhill runs.
Great pass to the back. TJ Daugherty, linebacker for last play, 5 yards downfield.
Pull one pass, 5 runs, 50 yards on the drive. A pass here. Stockton actually takes the pass, takes off inside the 5. Dive, touchdown. Gunnar Stockton runs 12 yards on a fake pass, quarterback run, and Georgia scores the first touchdown again.
This is the element that mobile quarterback gives your offense. It's actually a really good football play. Trying to flip it out there. Looked like they were trying to get into Oscar Delp off a heavy run action, and Gunnar Stockton didn't like it. Ole Miss defender was out there. He must have some big paws because Johnny Manziel, that football, that was a full one to pump fake, pulled it down, and just ran into the end zone.
Peyton Woodring on to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 7 plays, 75 yards in 3 minutes, 36 seconds, 62 of the 75 yards on the ground. With 13:37 to go in the second quarter, it's Georgia 7, Ole Miss 6. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
It's back. The 2026 Silicon Valley Auto Show, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. From EVs to customs and exotics, you can see, touch, even test drive some of the latest models. The Silicon Valley Auto Show, sponsored by SEFQ, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Get tickets now at SVAutoshow.com.
/tickets.
You're listening
to the college football playoff quarterfinal, the All-State Super Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
With the College Football Hall of Famer Matt Stinchko and I'm Taylor Zarzer. Cole Kublik's on the field. 13:37 to go second quarter. Georgia now leads Ole Miss 7-6. Kirby Smart is 117-20 in 10 seasons as the head coach at his alma mater, two-time national champion in 2021 and 2022. Played 3 times. This is the 5th trip he's made to the college football playoff. He's 40-3 in his last 43 SEC games, although one of those losses was last year in Oxford to Ole Miss. But you put in perspective, your old teammate, the fastest ever to 100 wins in SEC history.
Pretty remarkable. I mean, you talk to anybody that's ever been around him, including guys that have coached with him, opposing coaches. He's so hyper-focused. He's a high-capacity guy, really smart. And right now, he's been doing it better, longer than anybody else in the game. And you think about where this program has been built to and maintained, it stands out. There's just not a lot of programs that look like that anymore. And you look at the conference, a lot of new faces. The dean of coaches is Kirby Smart.
We loved that last offensive drive by Mike Bobo, the play calling and how physical Georgia was running the ball down the field. Wondering skit goes through the end zone. Cole, Ole Miss gets the football back on offense at the 25-yard line.
I don't think the solution for the problem for Ole Miss is very different than it was for Georgia. You look at what Kejuan Lacey did when he was handed the football 2 drives ago, able to utilize that patience, that long frame, get to the line of scrimmage, and then fly past the Georgia defender that maybe collapsed a little bit too far down. I think more Kejuan Lacey, as I saw him walking back and forth on the bench, essentially asking the offensive staff to feed him the football on this drive.
He has 7 carries for 46 yards so far in the game. Trinidad Chambliss is the quarterback. He's 8 of 14 for 65 yards passing. At his own 25, he'll throw left side short, and it's a good completion to Winston Watkins, the true freshman receiver from Fort Myers, Florida, with his 25th catch of the year. It goes for 7 yards, second and 3 for Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss is going to take those all game long. They'll take those free access throws, just a quick hitch, make you tackle them out on the perimeter and pick up the easy yardage.
On second and 3, Lacey gets the carry, runs right at Georgia defenders. He gets a yard, maybe 2, and then that stone-walled defensive line pushes him back. Elijah Griffin and Justin Green on the stop. It'll be 3rd and short for Ole Miss.
Something to keep an eye on. Linebacker Raylan Wilson not in the game for Georgia right now. They run deep at that linebacker spot, but Wilson, one of the more physical defenders in the middle of the Georgia defense.
Ole Miss just 1 of 4 on 3rd down. It's a 3rd and 1. Lacey runs into his own lineman, then bounces off of him and stumbles forward for a 1st down. Gets over the 36-yard line and moves the chains for Ole Miss.
Another excellent effort by Kejuan Lacey. It's probably the 3rd time in this game where Georgia has had contact on that running back for Ole Miss. Lacey able to deny the tackle, bounce off the would-be tackler, and pick up the yardage needed for the 1st down. Excellent effort.
He needed 1 yard. He picked up 2. 1st and 10, Ole Miss from their own 36, 12-14 to go 1st quarter. Another wide snap. Chambliss fields it, throws downfield, and drops it in the bucket perfectly to Dejon Stribling. Dalen Everett was all over Stribling, but Stribling made a catch down the sideline for 39 yards and an Ole Miss 1st down.
A beautiful pass, probably even better job of fielding the snap, as you pointed out, Taylor. And Dalen Everett never turned around to play the ball. Zero awareness for his receiver, was way late, even having any idea that that ball was nearby. Excellent ball placement by Trinidad Chambliss and Stribling, and you can see Georgia now very deliberate with their substitution. An Ole Miss Rebel offense.
Ole Miss is at the Georgia 25. Shotgun. Chambliss throws on a slant. It's caught by Harrison Wallace. The 3rd. He breaks tackles. There are flags on the field as he is down at the 16-yard line. As it stands right now, it'll be a 9-yard catch. Jeff Servinsky is the referee from the Big Ten Conference. We'll see what his crew came up with here as he talks to his colleagues for this 9-yard pickup.
No Jonell Aguero in this game again. Rashawn Dinkins in there. Well,
face mask.
full snap the distance to the goal line, it's an automatic first down.
And Dinkins did grab the face mask, a freshman from Warner Robins, Georgia, who made his first ever start in the SEC championship game. And after the personal foul, it's first and goal, Ole Miss at the Georgia 8-yard line. 11:35 to go here in the first half. Georgia's up 7-6 on the Rebels, but Ole Miss is on the doorstep. Daquan Wright is in the backfield, at least at the beginning of this snap, with Trinidad Chambliss in shotgun. Chambliss claps his hands, follows the tight end around the left side, tries to get the edge inside the 5, and he's down at the 3 as KJ Bolden makes the tackle. It'll be second and goal Rebels from there.
This is an area where Ole Miss has kind of struggled in the red zone. It'll be such a prolific offense. They've had 6 empty red zone possessions their last 3 games. 11 of them on the season. So you think about the recency of that. Has not been a very proficient part of the field, but there's not a lot of turf to defend for the Georgia defense here.
Second and goal, Ole Miss at the Georgia 3. Lacey is next to Chambliss in the backfield. Snap comes to Trinidad. He fakes to Lacey and bounces off the hands of Wallace in the flat. Can't make the catch, falls to the ground. Now it's third and goal, Cole, from the 3.
I want to give you guys an update quickly. Braylon Wilson, from out a few moments ago, not in the football game. Georgia calling it a lower extremity injury. Out for now. He is in the locker room for further evaluation.
What does Chambliss do here, Matt, on this third and goal from the 3?
We saw a second ago, and they tries a walk-in touchdown if you just make that completion. And now they empty the backfield.
And he takes the snap and moves the pocket to the right. Throws to the end zone. It's caught on a bullet. It's Luke Pass with the catch. The tight end makes his third catch of the year. It's a touchdown grab. It gives Ole Miss the lead in the Sugar Bowl.
So the answer is you move the pocket, get Trinidad Chambliss out onto the edge. They had a matchup that they liked. Rashawn Dinkins.
They mixed up 12-7. That's the point handy.
Easy completion, open by 2 or 3 yards in the back part of the end zone. What an answer by the Ole Miss offense. Get that big hitter down the field to Stribling, and they're on the field. They're looking to go for 2 here.
And they will up 12-7, try to get it to 14-7 here early in the second quarter. Chambliss in shotgun, takes the snap, looks right, wants to take off. He's bottled up and he's down. The 2-point conversion is no good as he's tackled behind the line by Kristen Miller back at the 7-yard line. 8 plays, 75 yards, and 304. Chambliss 4 of 5 passing and a touchdown on the drive. We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Happy holidays from all of us at the sports leader. KNBR and KNBR-FM San Francisco, a Cumulus Media station.
With Cole Kublik and Matt Stinchcomb, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Back and forth these two teams go in the first half. Ole Miss now has the lead again, 12-7 after Trinidad Chambliss leads the team down the field and ends up throwing a 3-yard touchdown pass to the seldom-used tight end, Luke Haas.
And you can't help but think back to that 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Kewan Lacey hitting his own backfield, bounces off the tackle. As you mentioned, got just enough, 2 yards when you needed 1 to extend that drive. Otherwise, it's a negative yardage play. Georgia defenders are earning the right to make negative yardage plays. And the Ole Miss offense, repeatedly, either receivers or running backs, denying that opportunity after the fact. Excellent job, yards after contact by the skill players of the Rebels.
Arnero, another touchback. Ole Miss gets the ball. Georgia gets the ball at their own 25. Down there in front of the Ole Miss band as the Rebels take a 12-7 lead with 10:33 to go in the second quarter. Matt, if you're Georgia, are you physical with the football again here offensively?
Listen, I don't know why you get away from it. Not after what you saw that last time. 8 runs, 8 passes now for Georgia. The last drive really balancing out the play call.
Stockton will turn and he'll hand to Frazier, and Frazier takes the pile with him over the 30 to the 31. We saw Georgia be so much more physical the last time they had the football.
It's also an Ole Miss defense. Keep in mind, not a ton of flaws that they have, but those defensive linemen for Ole Miss, they will jump gaps. They will not be gap sound completely for this game. So not only does Georgia maybe have a little bit of an edge physically, but when you watch them on tape, they will get a little bit too far east and west against the run at times.
2nd and 4 for Georgia at their own 31-yard line, trailing 12-7, under 10 minutes to go, second quarter. Stockton turns and hands to Frazier. Frazier tries the left side, and he's hit the backfield. He'll lose yardage. Won't even get to the 30-yard line there. And he's pulled on the play by Xavier Harris, the senior from Canton, Mississippi. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now for Georgia at their own 30-yard line.
We're talking about an active defensive front. That time, big Xavier Harris, 6'8", 330 pounds, got a good head start, was already headed inside, and beat the backside blocks of the right side of the Georgia offensive front to force that negative yardage play.
Georgia's 0 for 2 on 3rd down in the game. It's as loud as it sounds in the Caesars Superdome. Shotgun snap. Stockton turns and hands to Cash Jones, who gets the left side and gets a first down and is pushed out of bounds on the sideline over there by Antonio Kite. Cash Jones, Mr. 3rd down back for Georgia, moves the chains for the Dogs.
So that's the Georgia offense, and it's using standpoint against the defense. Defense sees Cash Jones come in. He's known as a receiver. He's known as a good protector in the backfield. Doesn't get a ton of carries. Able to get him out there on the edge more than enough to get the first down.
It's also known as offensive coordinator Mike Bobo's favorite player. 1st and 10 for Georgia, and Stockton will turn and hand to Bowens, who's lost in the backfield and won't get back to the line of scrimmage. T.J. Banks was back there, so was Xavier Harris deep in the backfield. Bowens is lucky only to lose half a yard there. It'll be 2nd down.
Really is. Well defended by Ole Miss on the edge. See if Georgia comes back to that, because they had an opportunity to fake that toss to Bowens. They had Dylan Bell in orbit motion all the way behind the formation. Could have been a toss to him on the reverse. The way Ole Miss committed to stopping that would-be toss. See if Georgia comes back to that later in the game.
2nd and 11 for Georgia at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, trailing Ole Miss 12-7. Stockton takes a shotgun snap. He has time. He's going to be flushed out to the right. He's on the run. He's set behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 35-yard line. Taj Chambers pressured him in the backfield, and Ole Miss was able to get him to the ground. It'll be 3rd and long for Georgia.
At that time, just no opportunity. Nowhere to go with the football downfield for Gunnar Stockton. Ended up flushing to his throwing hands coming up and getting Gunnar Stockton on the ground. Don't get a lot of scramble yards when you escape the pocket laterally. Got to get upfield.
There are more Ole Miss fans and Georgia fans here tonight in New Orleans, and you hear them yelling at Old Georgia on the 3rd and 13. Line of scrimmage, ball to Branch. He breaks the tackle. He's at the 40, 45. He's got a first down up at the 50-yard line. Branch broke a tackle in the backfield, and instead of losing a couple of yards, he picks up 15 and a first down.
What a play. I mean, it took a lot more yardage on this one. The blocking was not great. It's just another extended play. The blocking actually was really poor. Branch was right as he caught that football. It's reminiscent of Kevon Lacey on the 3rd and short.
Jalen Braxton missed that tackle as Georgia's quick up to the line of scrimmage near midfield now with a fresh set of downs. Nate Frazier's the back. His Georgia will snap it at midfield. And they'll turn and hand to Nate, who follows the right guard and center and gets nothing. Xavier Harris there on the tackle. Missed tackles were a big story, Cole, the first time these two teams played.
Absolutely. Pete Golding emphasizing tackling not only before this game, I've heard him a couple of times during this game. He's not having to be overly concerned with his linebackers making plays because Stinch, big 51, Xavier Harris, is proving that consistency not going to be an issue for him in this game. The penetration disruption from him up front on this Ole Miss defense has been second to none.
Well, he's done it on back-to-back handoffs.
2nd and 9 now for Stockton at the Ole Miss 49-yard line. Gunner claps his hands, snaps it, throws to Frazier, left side, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. 25 and pushed out of bounds inside the 25 by T.J. Banks. That's basically a run, but it's a throw in the backfield to Frazier, and it picks up 24 yards, and the Dogs are on the doorstep.
Yeah, that time, Ole Miss committed both linebackers to the interior of the defense. So they're trying to get into the line of scrimmage. Able to just flip the ball out there quickly to Nate Frazier. It's almost like a toss or a quick pitch. Ends up being a forward pass. Count that as a completion. Great blocking on the edge by Dylan Bell and Oscar Delp to bring Nate Frazier to pick up the big yardage reception.
Down to Ole Miss's 25-yard line. Georgia trailing Ole Miss 12-7. Stockton will turn and hand to Josh McRae. McRae tripped in the backfield. It's another tackle for loss. This time it's Will Eccles, the sophomore from Houston, Mississippi, with the shoestring tackle. It's a loss of 2. That's the 4th tackle for loss for Ole Miss in this game.
It was fascinating because on the previous possession, Georgia was just bullying Ole Miss in the interior, getting great push. Now we're seeing 3 straight handoffs now with the Ole Miss defensive front asserting itself, negative yardage plays. The yardage is happening now on the perimeter for Georgia offensively.
2nd and 12 now for Stockton and the Georgia offense. He takes the shotgun snap, makes the handoff, will drift back, wants the throw, downfield to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Taylon Taylor, the true freshman, but he was covered up. Antonio Kite was down there. So was Kapenna Gushikin. Double covered. It ends up as an incompletion. It's 3rd and 12.
That ball was off target. It was high and behind Taylon Taylor, who they've gotten back. He was lost to injury earlier in the season as well. He had Zechariah Branch underneath on the crossing pattern. He wanted more, was able to come up with nothing. Excellent defense, but really bad ball placement on that throw.
4:40 to go in the first half. Georgia's down 12-7 to Ole Miss. It's 3rd and 12 for Georgia at the Ole Miss 27. Stockton takes a shotgun snap. He's pressured. He's moving against his body to the left. He throws to Cass Jones. He breaks the tackle. He has the first down. He has down at the 1-yard line. Cass Jones just short of the end zone is tackled at the 1 by Chris Graves Jr. It's a 26-yard completion on 3rd and 12. 1st and goal Dogs now at the Ole Miss 1.
You see Gunnar Stockton is urging his guys, get lined up. He wants to run a play.
And here he is at the 1. Stockton on a quarterback keeper. It's a touchdown. Stockton runs it in again. His 2nd rushing touchdown so far in the game. And Georgia takes the lead back with 4:05 to go in the 2nd quarter.
I'll tell you, Taylor, I was worried about Gunnar Stockton out for that completion to Cass Jones. He got rocked. Now, we've seen him before. You go back to the first time he got some significant playing time, the SEC championship a year ago. He got hammered, but after that play, he got up, ran that QB sneak, and was fired up after the touchdown run.
Stays on the field as the holder for Peyton Wood. Will not chase points here. It didn't work. Woodring makes the extra point with 4:05 to go in the 2nd quarter. Georgia leads Ole Miss 14-12. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And from now on, let's wait.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but Jobs AI assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. Filters applicants based on the criteria you suggest great fit candidates daily, so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college game season. Loaded, all players, hard power, fun, get you the energy and dominate your competition. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Grab your say. And we're out. What are you eating?
Chimichurri filet mignon. It's a...
Oh, nice. Wait, they let you eat like that in the pros?
Oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate.
Oh, man, that does look good. You have a taste?
Mm-mm. Get your own.
All right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com?
Yep, and they've got a deal going on.
Oh, love a deal. I am so in.
Smart move. Pro move.
All right. Factor. Eat like
football playoff quarterfinal at the Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and ESPN.
What a gift to start 2026 here in New Orleans with Cole Kublik and Benton. I'm Taylor Zarzer on ESPN Radio.
Rolling to catch those. What was impressive was, because I'm looking at him going, I don't get lined up,
Appreciate you guys.
and he's the one that's picking up his offensive lineman. After the QB sneak, he was fired up, and you wonder, he starts games, sometimes he's a little jumpy. He's one of those guys that maybe takes a couple of good shots to get into the flow of the game. I don't think he needs to be taking shots like that one very often.
14-12 as the Dogs get to Rebels.
That's a great point. Hustle play really out of a broken play to get it to catch. Otherwise, that scoring drive doesn't happen. It stalls out.
Fair catch. Will be back on offense at the 25-yard line, meaning Georgia's on defense. Cole, will Raylan Wilson be one of the 11?
I'm going to assume so. And guys, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Behind the Georgia bench during that last offensive possession for the Bulldogs, defensive coordinator Glenn Schumann had Raylan Wilson do a couple of drops and then sprints. Actually, it was two. Raylan Wilson looked pretty good to me. Glenn Schumann's over there watching these personally, saw both, turned, walked back across the bench. Raylan Wilson was done. I imagine he's healthy and we'll see him back on this drive.
Ole Miss at their own 25-yard line. Trinidad Chambliss in shotgun. Brings Deuce Alexander in motion from the bottom to the top of the pattern. He'll hand off to Kejuan Lacey, who tries the left side, and he gets 5 yards up to the 30-yard line. Lacey now 10 carries, 55 yards in the first half against one of the best rushing defenses in college football.
Yeah, you think about it, this is probably one of the best, certainly coming out of the Southeastern Conference, the best run defense, among the best in the college football playoffs, second really only to the Indiana defense. Right now, Ole Miss moving it well on the ground.
And Lacey tries the left side again on a handoff, and he gets the first down. He picks up 6 yards. This time, Georgia is the number 4 rushing defense in the FBS at 79 yards a game. Ole Miss now has 70 yards rushing in the first half.
Excellent blocking on the perimeter. Well, that time, Lacey's able to get out wide, but they're running it to the formation strength. Had 2 receivers out on the edge. Really, one was tight end Daquan Wright. Big body out there, and you're just moving the line of scrimmage like a long handoff.
Almost 3 minutes remaining second quarter. Georgia up 14-12 on Ole Miss. Ole Miss at their 36-yard line. Chambliss throws and a diving catch by Deuce Alexander up at the 42. 6 more for the Rebels on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And that time, Taylor, confusion for the Georgia defense. Really, it was kind of pick where you want to go with the football. Chambliss had 2 options, both of them right over the ball, right in the middle of the formation.
On 2nd down and 4, Chambliss cocks his hands. He'll hand to Lacey. Lacey patiently runs. He fumbled the football. It's picked up by Georgia. Dalen Everett is in the clear. It's a touchdown for Georgia. Lacey fumbled it over the left side. It looked like Chris Cole caused it. Dalen Everett recovered it, and Georgia scores a touchdown. The first turnover of the game is a touchdown for Georgia.
Taylor, we talked about a big shot that Gunnar Stockton took. That was a big hit with Chris Cole. Both he and Elijah Griffin involved in that one. And Kejuan Lacey, a tough runner, just couldn't hang on to it. And Dalen Everett, who gave up the big completion to Stribling earlier, able to scoop and score and get the Dogs in the end zone.
A 46-yard fumble recovery by Everett after Cole forced the fumble. Cole, the sophomore from Salem, Virginia. Everett, also from the Commonwealth of Virginia, from Norfolk, scoring that defensive touchdown, and now a flag down on the field for Georgia.
5-yard penalty. The trial will be played. And Kirby Smart is going to absolutely lose his mind. It was a late substitution on a point-after attempt. J.J. Hanna was late going in there, and after he subbed in late, Kirby Smart got Oscar Delp, his starting tight end, said, you get in there. You go be the edge defender. I doubt that we'll see much of Hanna the rest of the game.
Lacey 65 yards rushing, and he had another first down there if he would have held on to the football. But Chris Cole blows up the play. Lacey coughs it up, and Everett scores. And now Woodring is set, and he makes the extra point. With 2:34 left in the second quarter, it's Georgia 21, Ole Miss 12. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal.
And the ESPN app for one incredible. You can watch some of football's biggest postseason games, the epic bowl matchups, the college football playoff, and NFL original playoff games. Get it all for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Visit Disney Plus Hulu ESPNBundle.com for details. Ad-supported plan auto renews at regular price. Currently $35.99 a month. Subject to change unless canceled. Ends January 5th, 2026. Terms apply.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible. Overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
You're listening to the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal of the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
2:34 remaining in the second quarter. Georgia leads Ole Miss 21-12. I'm Taylor Zarzour with Matt Stinchcomb and Cole Kublik. That is only the 6th lost fumble all season for Ole Miss, and it's the first fumble of the year for Kewan Lacey, and it's a costly one as Dalen Everett picked it up and scores a touchdown for Georgia.
A tough runner, and you could see earlier on we were walking around on the turf, and you could see he has that brace on his left shoulder, banged up. He's out there playing under duress, playing really well. Incidentally, costly turnover, as you mentioned. But he's also been a big reason why Ole Miss has been able to maintain possessions and get some of these scoring opportunities.
He has 12 carries for 66 yards so far in the game. Trinidad Chambliss has been impressive. 13 of 20 passing for 129 yards.
Appreciate
and a
that
touchdown.
like. Thank
Ole
you,
Miss
guys.
has more total yards than Georgia, 203 to 187. But now they trail by 9 as they get ready to get the football back.
Well, Ole Miss has had to overcome some pretty tough scenarios, right? Drive the football down,
Georgia.
hit a couple of long field goals. They've had to earn their way down there. And of course, Georgia, the most efficient of offensive drives, is never even having to take the field for a touchdown with the defensive score on the scoop fumble.
Woodring will kick it off. And another fair catch called by Ole Miss, meaning they get the ball at the 25-yard line. Lacey's had a phenomenal season, Cole. Only 100 yards in 6 games as a freshman for Missouri. He's the best in the country as a sophomore at Ole Miss.
Well, my TV crew had Ole Miss for the opener this year. We wanted to talk about all the different receivers coming in, and obviously Austin Simmons, who we saw against Georgia in the regular season last year at quarterback fill-in. And Lane Kiffin kept going back to Kewan Lacey. He's like, guys, I know you want to talk about wideouts, I know you want to talk about quarterback. I'm just telling you, running back is where we are going to be different. He brings a different dynamic to our team. He brings a different physicality to our team. We think we're going to actually have the back that we want at different points in time, yet still be explosive. Seeing him in that game and then seeing him in person tonight, the one thing that sticks out that I you have a true respect for watching him on film is his lateral agility and quickness. When he gets to that line of scrimmage and decides to burst east-west, that's when he's making defenders miss and he's breaking tackles. A true talent. Obviously, tough break on that fumble, but Kewan Lacey, somebody that Lane Kiffin knew early on this Ole Miss football team was going to be able to lean on and ride.
Cole Spear was down on the field on special teams, and he is leaving the field under his power to the Georgia bench as we get ready for play here with 2:34 to go in the second quarter. Matt, how do you respond, dust yourself if you're Ole Miss now down 9?
Well, there's no reason to panic if you're Ole Miss. You know, they've been able to football on the ground. Trinidad Chambliss has had a nice start, couple of balls that were deflected. They've held up and been able to keep Georgia somewhat off balance defensively. Third down efficiency has had to emerge a couple times where they force the running back to make cuts. No reason to panic on offense.
Chambliss wants to throw on the first play and throw way downfield into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Caden Lee, but A.J. Bolden and Chris Cole both were running with him down there. It's incomplete, second down.
That was greedy that time by Trinidad Chambliss. You've got three defenders really by Georgia converging. Chris Cole, who came up with that big strike that forced the fumble earlier, not only is he long, but he's got excellent speed. He was underneath that route. K.J. Bolden came over the top. Could have been a takeaway right there.
Lacey leads the backfield, now comes back and joins Chambliss. Chambliss on a shotgun throw, and it's complete to Deuce Alexander. Up to the 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 7. Everett on another tackle. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Ole Miss. Let's see if they get a play off before the 2-minute timeout. Ole Miss has 2 timeouts remaining, and that 2-minute timeout is coming up in 7 seconds.
It looks like they're going to play for the timeout. Not a lot of urgency. Georgia was able to get the substitution that they wanted. Ole Miss taking this opportunity to talk about it.
We'll keep it here at the 2-minute timeout, and a big 3rd and 3 here for the Rebels. Certainly since Georgia gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter, so Ole Miss needs to score some more points before Georgia has the football back.
Yeah, you think about it, you effectively steal a possession when you get
Hey,
that
what's up, Bill?
score. It's not just a takeaway. Offense never even has to set foot on the field.
Georgia fan or you Ole Miss
the way
fan?
they've been able to move the football, it's been impressive. You know, both of these teams, they started out, we'll say offensively stuttering just a little bit, back punts. And then Ole Miss kind of found their side. What's interesting is
It's 21 to 12 Georgia. They're up 9.
running the ball well inside. Then Ole Miss starts standing up. They've got 4 tackles for loss. You can probably credit them with 2 more. They were right at the line of scrimmage. Right now, it's hard to see, what's working with consistency, because both of these defenses are able to make adjustments and they're able to shore some of their deficiencies from a play standpoint.
Cole, our television crew at the Ole Miss Washington State game, and before that game, then head coach Lane Kiffin said there was a real chance Austin Simmons was going to play that day. He was warming up on the sideline. He was pleading with Coach Kiffin to play. He lost the job due to injury against Kentucky, but Kiffin stuck with Chambliss, and Chambliss has been the exclusive quarterback of Ole Miss ever since. What have you thought about Chambliss this season?
He's been incredible, especially when we talked to Lane Kiffin about him before that opener. We said, what's going to be after Austin Simmons? You have to kind of ask that question, right? And he said, well, this kid Trinidad was Ferris State. And when we asked Charlie Weiss Jr. about him, he said that he saw a tweet from Mike Farrell talking about how good of a D3 player he was. Charlie Weiss Jr. had about an extra hour on his hands, went and located his film, found it, watched it, and he said about an hour later they had decided they were going to offer the kid, went and saw him and offered him immediately. But Lane Kiffin said in practice early on in fall camp, he was terrible. He was atrocious. Weiss Jr. on the field tonight before the game told me in the first practice, Ole Miss couldn't complete a pass, but they got into the initial Saturday script and he balled out. And then the next week, similar. Not consistent through practice, not very good. Gets into scrimmage. His team going up and down the field offensively. They just called him a gamer and said that they thought they were going to have to lean on him at some point this season. Did not think it would be to the extent, but he has been outstanding for this Ole Miss offense all year.
Well, I'll tell you what, this coaching staff trusts him, because I'll tell you where else he stunk was in the first half versus Washington State. A couple of turnovers, a lot of bad balls, an empty red zone possession. They stuck with him, and it has certainly paid off. He's continued to play strongly, playing strongly here tonight.
3rd down and 2 for Chambliss and the Ole Miss offense out of the 2-minute timeout. Ole Miss is 3 of 6 on 3rd down tonight. Need to get it over the 35-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun. He has Lacey to his left. Moving receivers to the bottom of the pattern. He has 4 of them out there. Chambliss is looking right. Now will look downfield and throw, and it's incomplete. It's dropped. It was thrown a bit behind Daquan Wright, and Wright was unable to bring it to his body. It's 4th down, and the Ole Miss punt team is coming back out.
Wow, missed opportunity. Big one, too, for the Ole Miss Rebel offense. Paul, as you mentioned, Taylor, a little bit behind Wright. He's got to make that catch. When we talk about Lacey, he was a little bit nicked up coming into this game. Same is true for Wright. He needs to come up with that catch for his quarterback to extend the drive.
Oscar Bird for the second time. First one, 48-yarder. This is a good 2 and a fair catch ball at the 16-yard line by Zachariah Branch with 1:50 remaining in the first half. That was a 52-yard punt. And now Gunnar Stockton and Georgia come back out on offense, up 21-12 with 1:50 to go in the half and all of their timeouts left as well. And remember, they get the ball to start the third quarter.
They're going to be smart with this possession. 2 minutes of time, and as you mentioned, plenty of opportunity to stop need be. This is the middle 8. We're at the end of the first half to start the second half where you want to be dominant. This is what cost Georgia the game last time in the Sugar Bowl. They lost the game in the middle 8 versus Notre Dame. They certainly focus on that element as do all teams. But an opportunity here to double up.
With Stockton's first ever start. This is his 14th. And he takes a shotgun snap and gets crushed back near the 15-yard line. It's Will Eccles again, who comes in for the sack. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
Will Eccles, if it's not him, Davian Harris, excellent job working off of the block of Big Juan Gaston. We rotate at the right guard spot. Dontrell Glover, Juan Gaston, both are freshmen. And that time just doesn't stick and stay. Great job by Eccles to get a negative yardage play to start this possession.
1:15 left in the half. Clock is still running. Neither team calling timeout. 1:10 now. 2nd and 12 It is the down and distance here. And Stockton's going to let the play clock go all the way down to 1 and snap it with 1:05. Tries to do a screen pass. It's stopped by Branch. Branch breaks a couple of tackles. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage up to the 17-yard line where Ole Miss will use their second timeout with 8 seconds left in the half. And Cole, suddenly this is a big play for Ole Miss, down 9, trying to get the ball back.
I don't think there's any doubt. Pete Golding going to that timeout right there. One of the things that I did ask before this game was where he stood on sort of the analytics. We saw him go for 2 points a little bit earlier.
Hey, what's up, John?
Lane Kiffin was strictly by the book. Would go for it on 4th down option. Would go for 2-point conversions all the time. And Pete Golding told me, no, it's all about field. All about what's happening, the flow of the game, and how I feel inside of the game. He said, I might ask what the analytics say. He goes, but usually I'm just going to go by my gut when I'm going to call a timeout, or I'm going to chase points, or I'm going to go for 2.
Well, on a 3rd and long here, of course, right, makes all the sense in the world. Stop the clock, get an opportunity to get the ball back. You play well here on 3rd down. There's a chance you get the ball at or near midfield. Britt Thorson's an excellent punter. You got to play the 3rd down. We've seen that already in this game. But this is an opportunity for Ole Miss to find a way to cram another possession here in the first half. You go back to that negative yardage play on 1st down to set up this scenario.
Georgia's been excellent on 3rd and long. This is a 3rd and 10 for the Dogs. Up 9 with 58 seconds to go in the half from their own 17-yard line. And it's a handoff to Cash Jones, and Jones is unable to break tackles, driven backwards by Cam Franklin. And Ole Miss will use their last timeout with 52 seconds left in the half and a chance to get the ball back, as you said, near midfield. It's an excellent point that Cole makes about Pete Golding and the decision-making that he's having to make in this game. Every other coach in this situation has had dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of chances to make those decisions. And have had to make them in lopsided games throughout the course of the year to kind of get their feet wet. Pete Golding debuted as a head coach in the college football playoff 2 weeks ago in Oxford, and now here he is in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and he's coaching from the sideline. I mean, just everything about it is different. You're not just coordinating a side of the ball. You're not coaching from the box. You're not looking at a monitor when the offense is on the field. No, you're coaching the entire game. And Kirby Smart's got 138 chances at this thing. Golding is in his 2nd all time. There is no substitute for that.
You know, the coolest part about that is Lane Kiffin told us at the beginning of the season that Pete Golding was the one that had been instrumental in him becoming a better overall head coach, understanding in-game situations, protecting the defense, knowing how to recruit different players. He credited Pete Golding heavily with all of those improvements.
Thorson punts from his own 20-yard line, and it's Harrison Wallace waiting on it at his own 35.
Ole Miss looks like they might come after this punt.
And Thorson able to get it off, and another really good punt that is going to take Wallace back to his 26-yard line where he's going to make a fair catch. Thorson with a 53-yard punt. This guy is going to be punting in this stadium in NFL games very soon. He missed this game last year due to an ACL injury. Thorson winning the Ray Guy Award, and that was another reason why.
Now, when he hit one of the speakers that are hanging from the roof here in the Superdome like Ray Guy did.
That's right.
Tell me all about that in the pregame. That's unreal.
They had to change some of the things that were hanging from the stadium because of what Ray Guy did in the mid-'80s. The late, great Ray Guy from southern Mississippi, still celebrated all over the country with that punting award. All right, now it's Ole Miss at their own 26-yard line with 46 seconds to go in the half, and they don't have any timeouts. And Chambliss takes a shotgun snap. He'll stand tall and throw. Underneath, it's caught, and it's a short catch by Caleb Odom. The clock will run at the 30-yard line as it's a catch of only 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock inside 30 seconds to go in the half, and Chambliss snaps it at 29. Trinidad will throw over the middle. That's a first down ball. Rushed up past the 40 to the 43. It's Caden Lee and Ja'Cory Thomas leveled him there, and they stop the clock, and they'll review this play for targeting.
Now, as big as that hit was, I'm surprised the flag came out only because of the shot that Gunnar Stockton took on the touchdown, or the near touchdown play. Flag didn't come out. They didn't even look at it. Here, a flag comes out. They will certainly review this.
We just had a chance to review it.
Completed catch, personal foul, targeting defense number 20. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Includes an automatic first down. Number 20 is disqualified from the ball game, and that play is under further review.
Wow,
So the official got a little ahead of himself. He's up there talking about, guys getting disqualified. The play's getting reviewed. Of course, all kinds of reactions. Ole Miss fans, we say probably about 65% of the folks in attendance, they think that it is. Ja'Cory Thomas clearly tries, we can see, to turn.
Guys, do you have our ruling on the field of targeting?
To make contact with the shoulder. And the white hat still has his microphone
He doesn't
open.
know that his microphone is open as he's talking to the replay official.
The head referee, yeah. It's
Jeff Servinski talking to Mike Conlon, the replay official.
I don't know.
Here's the call.
The ruling on the field is upheld of targeting. Number 20 is disqualified from the ball game.
A big blow for the Georgia defense. We already talked about no Jonell Aguero, no Kyron Jones.
Yeah, that's Ja'Cory Thomas who replaced Kyron Jones at that position. Cole, you're right there on the field. What did you see with Thomas's shoulder going into the receiver?
Well, it obviously is directed at the head or neck area, one of the targeting fouls that you're going to look at. But as Stitch said, one of the things that makes it difficult on a defensive player is when the offensive player sinks just before you go make the tackle, it's impossible for a defender to make that adjustment that quickly. Tough break there for the Bulldogs.
Zion Branch comes into the game for Georgia to replace him. Ole Miss is down at the Georgia 43-yard line on a 1st and 10 with 23 seconds left. Chambliss takes a shotgun snap, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. It was thrown behind Harrison Wallace there. Dalen Everett was closer to the ball than Wallace was. It's incomplete, falling to the ground. 19 seconds left in the half.
And we see the fans in attendance, mostly Georgia, a little bit upset with, obviously, that ruling. That ball a little bit off target. We've seen a couple times now in this game where the ball's been behind the intended receiver.
Oh, they kicked the Georgia player.
There was a rusher coming on late as Chambliss unleashed that last throw.
Just need a few yards to give Carnero, who's got a cannon for a leg, a try. Chambliss shotgun throws over the middle. It's dropped. Caleb Odom had a first down catch, but heard the footsteps, dropped the football as Georgia defenders converged on him. It falls to the ground with 15 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 10.
Taylor, you nailed it. Yeah, that ball hit him literally right in the numbers. That's the 4th Ole Miss drop in this ball game. DeMello Jones was kind of in the area, but it wasn't like he was right on top of him. But I think he sensed the presence of the defender. That should have been, he almost could have caught that by default. It was a perfect pass.
Now there's only 15 seconds left in the half. Ole Miss needs to move the chains or get out of bounds here. If they're short of the first down, the half good in. Chambliss drifts back. He throws short. It's caught. And turning upfield is Wright. And Wright does not get the first down. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds to go. 4.
Get it off.
If the kicking team's coming on, they're not going to get it
No
off.
way.
Wright made the catch, went back towards the field, and the clock
One at a
expires
time.
on Ole Miss. Not the situation Pete Golding wanted to end the first half there. Georgia protects the lead going into the half. At the end of the first half, the score is Georgia 21, Ole Miss 12. Now here basketball in the studio with the halftime report.
All right, Taylor, thanks so much. The Dogs 20 points in that second quarter. 2 from their offense, 1 touchdown from that D to grab the 9-point lead at the break. Coming up next in the College Football Live halftime report, we'll take a look at dominant showings for Oregon and Indiana. This is the College Football Playoff quarterfinal, the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
At Wrangler, we know the essential question for any guy is, can I go like this? It could be date night, boys' night, work, or your nephew's school play. It could be anything. And the last thing you want to do is change. That's why Wrangler makes jeans, shirts, jackets, and tees that answer yes to life's essential question. You can go in Wrangler. Check out our latest styles today at Wrangler.com. Wrangler for the ride of life.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry. Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry, Terry. Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro. Like it never even happened.
Zuckerberg stepping up.
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
College football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the College Football Live halftime report where Georgia leads Ole Miss at the break 21-12 in the second matchup for these schools this season. Again, after Miami took out Ohio State a night ago, there were still 3 spots up for grabs in the College Football Playoff semifinals. The day began with the Capital One Orange Bowl, Oregon, Texas Tech, the only matchup in the quarterfinals that featured 2 teams both in the top 10 in offense and defense, but this day's D belonged to Oregon, and they got just enough offense.
Jordan Davison's come in. He'll get the toss. Running to the right side. End zone. Touchdown, Oregon. First touchdown of the ball game with 11:20 to go in the third quarter. Jordan Davison's 14th of the year for the Ducks.
Wes Durham on the call. Ducks had a fumble recovery at the 6. Jordan Davidson punched it in from 6 yards out, one of his 2 touchdown runs. They had 4 takeaways on the day. The defender of the day is this guy.
Morton in the gun. Tight end right. 3 receivers left. Looks left. Barron waits on the clock. Now he'll throw for the corner. Aiken intercepted. Brandon Finney, another takeaway. Intercepted by Finney. He's now got 2 in the game, 3 on the season, and a fumble recovery. Not bad for a true freshman.
I'd say Brandon Finney, second second player with 3 takeaways in
Appreciate
college
the
football
like.
playoff history. That takes us to today's trivia question to answer. And who was that other player that got it done? It was a former Georgia Bulldog, Javon Bullard, in 2022.
What do you
Had
guys
3
think?
takeaways as
Columbus,
well. Again, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's not bowl season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Oregon 23-0 over Texas Tech. Dan Lanning now 48-7 as Ducks head coach, second most wins in his first 4 seasons as an FBS head coach in the last 50 years. This was Lanning.
They are good defense, right? And just today, I think it showed it. You walk into halftime at 6-0, that's a great indicator of being a good defense. And they had some guys that played some really good ball. We just felt like in this moment, it was going to be about chipping away. Eventually, he's going to break, and it kind of broke open with us creating some extra opportunities there with takeaways, opportunities in special teams. I thought our special teams played really, really well, but we had a lot of respect for Texas Tech's defense. They don't play the way they've played all year and not be good, and they are. They're good. We thought it would be explosive plays. There weren't a ton of explosive plays in this game, right, really for either side, but the physicality showed up for our guys down the stretch.
Yeah, especially on that defensive end as they win it 23-0. And then you got Indiana and Alabama in the Rose Bowl presented by Prudential. There was rain earlier in the day. It was pretty dry when they hit the field, though, and after a scoreless opening quarter, things opened up for the Hoosiers.
From the 21 of Bama, there's the snap. Pressure coming. Picked up nicely. Tossing end zone for Becker. Goes up. Grabs it. Touchdown, Indiana. 21-yard touchdown pass. Endo Mendoza to Charlie Becker. And Indiana's got a 9-0 lead.
As they tack on that extra point, 10-0. That followed a turnover. Then it went 11 plays, 58 yards. Omar Cooper Jr. from 1 yard out the feed from Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza made 3 scoring strikes early third quarter against the Towers.
Third down and 1. Empty backfield. Mendoza the snap. Looking left. Fires end zone. He's got Surratt who makes the catch. Touchdown, Indiana. The second connection today between Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. 24-yard touchdown reception for Surratt. And now it's 23.
And we'll call that the Good Hands moment of the week, as called by Mark Kessler here on ESPN Radio. Some people just take hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Visit allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote that can save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner, 14 of 16, 192 yards, 3 scoring strikes. They ran for 2 more scores in that fourth quarter, outrushed the Tide 215-23 in an overwhelming 38-3 win over Alabama. Signetti post-game with our Chris Button.
Coach, congratulations. How are you guys able to outfit the boys in the SEC on both sides of the ball today?
We've been a pretty physical team all year long. And, great win against a great football team with a storied tradition. And I thought our guys played really hard from the first snap to the last snap. And proud of them. And we got done what we wanted to get done. Looking forward to flying home and a day off tomorrow, and we'll get late for next day.
What is it about the makeup of this group that they are able to, at this kind of stage with what's at stake, but the moment's not too big for them?
Well, I mean, why should it be too big? Because our name's Indiana. We got a lot of veteran starters. They've played a lot of successful football in their careers. They have high character. They're great leadership and character on this football team. And, we've come through in the clutch moments.
Hey, what's up, David?
I'm proud of the way that they responded.
How you doing, bro? How was your New Year?
They met this challenge, and it's a great win.
You gotta love the chip on the shoulder that continues for Kirk Signetti, who becomes the second FBS coach to win 25-plus games in his first 2 seasons in FBS history. Kalen DeBoer, the other, did it at Washington. For Alabama, 5th straight season without a title, largest loss in a bowl game in school history, those 35 points. Benjamin Watson of the SEC Network on his biggest takeaway.
The takeaway was total domination. I mean, we talked about the fact that this team had been on a layoff. They didn't let it bother them. They came out, played well from the onset. I thought Mendoza was amazing, completed 80% of his passes, 2 incompletions. But the way they ran the football, the way they were physical, they took it to Alabama from the very beginning. And one thing Mendoza said in his interview, he said he
he had to do his part. No more, no less. Just do your job, no more, no less. That's what this team has been built on the entire season. That's what they did today to get a victory against Alabama.
Yeah, for Alabama, their largest loss in a game of any sort since 1998. That's 3 straight losses in bowl games for the first time since the early 70s. Getting the book themselves and the reputation on this stage, not just this year, but overall. For Indiana, that's a 14-game winning streak, most wins in school history, and this is their first bowl win since 1991. Do any of you remember the Copper Bowl against Baylor? That was the last time they had won a bowl game, but they, again, are the top team in the country and the only undefeated team reaching now the college football playoff semifinals. Coming up next in the College Football Live halftime report, Adam Rittenberg joins us to size up Take 2 for the Ducks and Hoosiers. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's back. The 2026 Silicon Valley Auto Show, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. From EVs to customs and exotics, you can see, touch, even test drive some of the latest models. The Silicon Valley Auto Show, sponsored by SEFCU, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Get tickets now at svautoshow.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, it's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
West Coast Men's Health is now offering testosterone replacement therapy. So when you're ready to feel more like yourself and put ED behind you, give us a call at 650-407-1167. That's 650-407-1167.
Our group has mixed loyalties: soccer, basketball, football. Finding one used to be impossible.
They sold this with multiple screens, so now everyone gets their own game.
Yeah, super great. Whether it's big playoffs or just regular season. Yeah.
It's San Jose's one spot for everything, including sports fans who can't go around anything else.
The home of the Bay Area's best progressive chat, with weekly specials, happy hours, events, and more. Casino Matrix. Just drop in. Please gamble and drink responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. At Shreve & Company, we believe that jewelry is an expression of your own unique style. And discover the magic of layering. Stack delicate necklaces that tell their own stories, or mix and match bracelets that embrace your wrist with whispers of sophistication. Create a look that's entirely your own, whether it's for a gala or your everyday style. Let our experts guide you in crafting the perfect layered look. Shreve & Company. Extraordinary jewelry and timepieces in Palo Alto in the Stanford Shopping Center.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots, instant scratch cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. Players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins. A shot at some serious prizes. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play. .com.
You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal of the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Oregon will advance. College playoff semifinal.
We just felt like in this moment we got chipping away, and eventually it was going to break, and we kind of broke open. And physicality showed for our guys down the stretch.
Got to keep chipping away. The next play mentality. I'm excited for the future.
Indiana roughs up Alabama. Final score: Hoosiers 38 and Crimson Tide 3, and it's on to the semifinals for Hoosiers.
Just do your job, no more, no less. That's what this team has been built on the entire season. That's what they did today to get a victory against Alabama.
Great win for our football program. I'm proud of our players, coaches, having such a long time off, we overcame that challenge and I showed them today.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Jim Basketball back at the College Football Live halftime report. Yeah, it's Ducks and Hoosiers. They match up January 9th, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in the college football semifinals. In that first matchup, October 11th, Fernando Mendoza threw for 215, fourth quarter touchdown in a 30-20 Hoosiers win. Their first over a top 5 team at that point since 1967. Dante Moore, 2 interceptions, sacked 6 times. Let's bring in ESPN college football reporter Adam Rittenberg. And Adam, let's...
Quarterback, that got great but as the tackles coach Pat Coons told me after the game today, it's always going to be about what happens at the line of scrimmage. And Indiana, somewhat surprisingly, under Kirk Kennedy, has shown they can measure up.
Yeah, I mentioned Dante Moore, the 2 picks, sacked 6 times in the first matchup. How does Moore and the Ducks have different results in game 2?
Well, yeah, you can't have the major mistake, which, again, both quarterbacks did. Mendoza had a pick 6, early in the fourth quarter, and Indiana was still able to win that game by 10 points. But, Dante's got to make good decisions in terms of passing, when to run, avoiding sacks, and, they've got to run the ball. I think if you're going to beat Indiana, you have to have some semblance of balance, and Alabama didn't really have that all season. Ohio State hasn't been an exceptional running team. I think the team that beats Indiana is going to have to beat them and look a lot like they do, which is running the ball at a high rate and balancing it out with the pass. And that's obviously a very difficult thing to do against this Indiana defense. Yep. That's going to be the real mission for Oregon. And they've got the ability. I mean, they have a lot of different ball carriers. They've got a very good offensive line, and they've obviously got a quarterback that can make any throw on the field.
Yeah, we got about a half minute left, Adam. Fernando Mendoza, 3 more scoring strikes today. But again, you saw what the Ducks D did today. How tough is it going to be in that second try against Oregon?
Yeah, he's got to be very aware of where they are. I mean, they can get after the quarterback. They can make plays. Mateo today with that takeaway, you got to be very, very aware of where he's on the field. So these teams have seen each other. It's about who makes the adjustments and who executes. And I anticipate that being a much closer game than what we saw today.
That's ESPN college football reporter Adam Rittenberg looking ahead at Oregon, Indiana, January 9th, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in the college football semis. Adam, we appreciate the insight.
Jim.
Coming up next in the College Football Live halftime report, the second half from New Orleans, Rebs and Dogs. This is the College Football Playoff quarterfinal, the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're out. Back in 60.
Hey, what are you eating? Chimichurri filet mignon. It's a Factor meal.
Oh, nice. Wait, they let you eat like that in the pros?
Oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate.
Oh, man, that does look good. Let me have a taste.
Get your own.
All right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com?
Yep, and they've got a deal going on.
Oh, love a deal. I am so in.
Smart move. Pro move.
All right. Factor. Eat like a pro.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
All right, Mom and Dad, that's enough screen time for today.
I literally just saved us more money by finding 2 subscriptions we forgot about with Navy Federal Credit Union's mobile app.
Yeah, and I just protected our credit from cringe fraudsters with this security tech.
Don't you want to spend some time on social media?
Will social media help us manifest your college tuition?
Get the best banking ever with one of America's top-rated digital banking experiences, Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on October 2nd, 1993, when the University of California faced a 30-0 halftime deficit to Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 40-0 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory. Largest in college football history.
ServPro. Like it never happened.
Just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first. Or wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Down and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you can save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Second down and 4. Chambers claps his hands. He'll hand to Lacey. Lacey patiently runs. He fumbled the football. It's picked up by Georgia. Jalen Everett is in the clear. It's a touchdown for Georgia. Lacey fumbled it over the left side. It looked like Chris Cole caused it. Jalen Everett recovered it. And Georgia scores a touchdown.
As the Dogs decap a trio of second quarter touchdowns for Georgia. We pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Happy holidays from all of us
Thank
at
you guys for
the
the likes.
Sports
You guys
Leader.
got Georgia or Ole Miss coming up.
KNBR FM
Second
San
half.
Francisco, a Cumulus Media station.
Georgia engineered 2 second quarter touchdown drives, and as you just heard, followed that with a defensive touchdown. So despite being outgained 234-90, it's the Dogs that carry a 21-12 lead into the second half. Started the third quarter at the Louisiana Superdome with our team of Cole Kubelik, Matt Stinchcomb, and Taylor Zarzer.
Jim, your old city is packed to the gills here on New Year's Day 2026 as Georgia carries a 21-12 lead over Ole Miss into the third quarter. Matt, Ole Miss has won 3 national championships back in the late 50s and early 60s. Unequivocally, this is the best season they've had since then, winning 11 regular season games. Lane Kiffin was their head coach in all of those games. He's not here tonight. He's at the LSU women's basketball game right now in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Instead, Pete Golding is coaching the team. Won his first game as the permanent head coach in the college football playoffs a couple weeks ago against Tulane, and coaching here tonight. And you have to wonder, that inexperience combined with the transition some of his assistant coaches will eventually make to LSU, caught up with Ole Miss at the end of the half as Quan Wright didn't go out of bounds, stayed in bounds, the clock expired, and Ole Miss didn't attempt a field goal at the end of the half.
Yeah, that's quite, I think, that's what explains what transpired at the end of that half. It wasn't the most experienced game management scenario where you've got that entire chain of command. It's different. You talk about, you heard Cole mention it, where Pete Golding, Lane Kiffin felt like he was made a better head coach because of Golding. Golding's now the head coach, and you've got to coordinate those decisions with the components, offense, defense, and ultimately special teams on that fire alarm field goal attempt.
And they're down 9, and they're kicking to Georgia, who get the football first. Cole Kubelik caught up with Pete Golding coming out of the locker room.
I asked him, guys, I said, a lot of things you have not done through the entire season. Fumbles, drops, not going out of bounds. I said, you even address those with your team? He said, absolutely. Addressed him. He said, but the main thing I did is I reminded this football team who was up 9 going into the fourth quarter when we played the same opponent earlier this season. Said there's no reason we can't find a way to come back and defeat them the way they found a way to come back and defeat us. And listening to a couple of players who trickled out of that locker room, the intensity of Pete Golding was mentioned by more than one individual who was coming back onto the field here for the second half.
Great job there, Cole. Ole Miss has 44 more total yards than Georgia as the Dogs get the ball to start the second half at their own 24-yard line. Gunnar Stockton, 2 rush touchdowns already in the game. He'll fake the handoff, play action, load up and throw, and it's incomplete. It's batted down near the line of scrimmage. Xavier Harris has been all over the field, and he hit that ball with both arms. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he's 6'8", hard guy to throw around. That's real difficult, actually, when you think about it. Start this game off, or this half, rather, and if you're Georgia, you want to reestablish that line of scrimmage. They had a possession where they were bullying Ole Miss up front. They got away from that. Really, the defensive front for Ole Miss in the second quarter reasserted itself. Can they establish that identity again here early in the second half?
On 2nd and 10 in shotgun, Stockton will keep it himself, and around the left side, he gets up past the 29-yard line, where he's tackled by Antonio Kite, the former Alabama and Auburn defensive player. Kite now with Ole Miss makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Georgia here, just 30 seconds into the third quarter. Georgia's at their own 29-yard line.
Well, the Ole Miss defense, think about the way the second quarter ended. They were able to force a punt, get the ball back to their offense. Defensively, the Rebels starting fast, picking up where they left off in the second quarter, here to start the third.
Cash Jones, the third down back, stands next to Stockton, now moving from his left to his right. Stockton with 3 on the play clock. Direct snap, tried to run right at Ole Miss, and he is leveled right there at the point by Will Eccles. It's a quick 3 and out for the Georgia offense to start the second half. Exactly what Pete Golding wanted from his defense for Ole Miss.
The 5th tackle for loss in this game. Really poor blocking up front on the left side by the University of Georgia. They're trying to combination block up to the second level, and it's 2 veteran players, Micah Morris and Monroe Freeling, just not on the same page. And another negative yardage play by the Ole Miss defense.
Forcing a Brett Thorson punt. He's punted 4 times now tonight. He never punted in the first matchup in October. Gets this one off. Harrison Wallace, the third, waits on it, and he calls for a fair catch just in front of his 20-yard line. It's a 50-yard punt, no return. 13:24 to go here in the third quarter. Georgia's lead is still 20-12 for Ole Miss. So Pete Golding's defense does the job. Now it's his offense's turn to come back out on the field and try to cut this to a 1-score deficit.
So you think back to the end-of-half sequence for Ole Miss offensively. 2 drops, but the throws were there. No Ja'Cory Thomas, who was already in there in support of Kyron Jones. They haven't had the defense at safety. Now they're down to the 3rd string. Zion Branch, Zachariah's brother, filling in at safety. No Jonell Aguero. Right now, the secondary looks very different for Georgia to start the second half.
Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback for Ole Miss with Kewan Lacey to his left. Chambliss in shotgun will fake the handoff, throw left sideline, back shoulder ball. It's caught under the 40-yard line by Dejon Stribling. Stribling on a one-on-one ball, caught it against Ellis Robinson, and he picks up 19 yards and an Ole Miss first down.
God, what a play by Stribling. Once again, he's that left side wide receiver, was able to catch a big ball in the first half versus Dalen Everett. That time working against Ellis Robinson, who was in good position. Well-placed football by Trinidad Chambliss. And an excellent catch on the back shoulder by Stribling.
Stribling got a 75-yard touchdown catch in the first play of the third quarter in Athens earlier this season. It's 1st and 10 for Ole Miss at their own 40-yard line. Chambliss claps his hands, and he'll hand to Lacey. Lacey's hit immediately. Georgia's helmets are flying off. It's Kristen Miller who made the tackle without his helmet. Right where that ball was snapped at the 40-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 10.
You see Kristen Miller after that play. He's like, hey, look, helmets don't just pop off. You know, usually they get pulled off. A lot of times it's hands to the face. No penalty. But has to leave the game because his headgear came off. If there is no flag, you have to come back out of the game. Kristen Miller made that tackle with no helmet on.
Junior from Ellenwood, Georgia's out, has his helmet on, waiting to come back in. Elijah Griffin, the freshman from Pooler, Georgia, takes his spot. On 1st and 10, a ball across the middle is thrown low, but caught by Harrison Wallace III. He's up near the 50-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Ole Miss at near their own 48-yard line.
And an empty backfield. See if Trinidad Chambliss keeps it.
He throws instead, and it's caught in short of the first down is Caden Lee. Lee's clobbered by Ellis Robinson, the 4th, short of the first down. And Ole Miss is at their own 49-yard line, and the offense is staying on the field, down 9 with 11 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. They're 20 of 29 on 4th down this year. This is 4th and a foot. They have to get to midfield to move the chains. Chambliss and Lacey in the backfield. It's a direct snap to Lacey, running right at Georgia. He didn't get there. He lost yardage. It's a turnover on downs. Georgia's defense makes the stop. Jonah and Elijah Griffin there to converge on Lacey, and Georgia will get the football back. 11-10 remaining in the third quarter. It's Georgia 21, Ole Miss 12. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. The Miami Dolphins faced the New England Patriots, who clinched the AFC's 1 seed with a win, and our Broncos lost.
Hay takes the snap, runs to the near sideline at the 12, avoids pressure, now runs back toward the far sideline to the 10, 5, and into the end zone. Drake May making something out of nothing.
The Dolphins at the Patriots. Coverage begins Sunday at 4 Eastern, with kickoff at 4:25 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Avatar Fire and Dash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history. Whatever happens, protect this family. Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Dash, rated PG-13, now playing. Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Now, I had the privilege of playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I came into the league drafted by Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones, played 4 years down there, made the playoffs a couple of years, came to New York, won a Super Bowl. God bless the 2011 season, the celebration we had 2012, that offseason was amazing. But that feeling, that offseason, I had that feeling every single day as a Dallas Cowboy, and we didn't win a damn thing.
Unsportsmanlike, weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. To the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
In the Caesars Superdome, the final quarterfinal matchup is here in New Orleans between Georgia and Ole Miss. The Dogs lead the Rebels 21-12 with 11-10 remaining in the third quarter with Cole Kublik and Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Taylor Zarzer. Cole, Ole Miss has almost 70 more yards than Georgia, but they're 0 for 1 on 4th down. They let the clock expire at the end of the second quarter, and they gave up a fumble for a touchdown in this game.
Situationally, they have not been great. And I think a lot of people are going to point to that, but it feels more like execution than it does maybe situational failures for this Ole Miss football team. But back on the field, this Ole Miss defensive line has been disruptive, especially here early in the second half, late in the first half. We've seen Will Eccles, Xavier Harris almost take over. See if they can continue that against this Georgia offensive line.
Gunnar Stockton back at quarterback at midfield after the Georgia defense forced a turnover on downs. Stockton will turn and he'll toss to Nate Frazier. Frazier gets a yard or two around the left side. A short gain there, and it's Xavier Harris with another tackle. Taj Chambers, who leveled Stockton earlier in this game, was also there.
You know, it's a good point. Offensively, the execution has not been great for Ole Miss. Haven't been able to capitalize on some opportunities. You think about the fumble, cost some points going the other way. But defensively, they've started to figure it out. There for a second, it looked like Georgia was going to be able to have their way physically tackle to tackle. Once again, yet another play. They forced 3 3-and-outs in this game already.
2nd and 9 for Georgia at the Ole Miss 48. Stockton stumbles, tripped. He hands to Frazier. Frazier gets nothing. Again, it's the Ole Miss defense that swarms him. Wydett Williams and T.J. Daugherty there to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd and long. Matt Stinchcomb and Cole Kubelik's instant analysis is brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right.
I'll tell you, even if he doesn't stumble on this one, the blocking is so poor at the point of attack. Right tackle whiffs, left guard trips on the center as he pulls. It was so poorly blocked, it doesn't matter. Well, Gunnar Stockton, that play looks sloppy from the get-go. Right now, Georgia losing along the offensive front.
Frazier did fumble after the whistle was blown. That's why Ole Miss fans are frustrated. Stockton on 3rd down throws, a long throw. It's caught by Colby Young right near the first down marker, but a flag comes in as that ball was caught by Young near a first down.
I don't know how Young caught it. The defender was draped all over him.
Pass interference. Defense number 8. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Includes an automatic first down.
Antonio Kite called for that interference penalty, the first Ole Miss penalty of the game.
And another long, quote-unquote, conversion on 3rd down for the Georgia offense. Think about Zachariah Branch on the drop, then of course Cash Jones to get him on the goal line. 2 long 3rd and 10 plus, and then they're bailed out by the penalty to get a fresh set of downs.
Inside Ole Miss's 40, spotted at the 39-yard line. Stockton under center, turns, hands to Frazier. Frazier tries the left side. Frazier's hit at the line of scrimmage again. 3-4 Rebels there to make the tackle after a minimal gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Cam Franklin among those that made the tackle.
Yeah, market difference. I mean, really, you think about how Ole Miss, they're not just winning because they're stunting or twisting up front. They're winning at the point of attack versus the Georgia offensive front that was getting excellent knockback. It's like a totally different football game with the rushing attack for Georgia, the way Ole Miss is playing defensively.
Spotted at the 38-yard line. Stockton on a reverse to Dylan Bell. Now Bell will throw downfield. It's incomplete. Bell had no running room and at the last moment decided to throw downfield to London Humphreys, but Humphreys was covered up down there. It's incomplete, 3rd and 8.
Well, that was wise by Dylan Bell. He had 0 running room on the edge. And as you mentioned, coverage downfield. He's just avoiding the negative yardage play right there. Smart decision. Dylan Bell gets the touches a lot. Don't see him throwing a lot. Smart to burn that down, and a big 3rd down. Yet another opportunity for the Rebel defense.
3rd and 8. Georgia's up 9. 8:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Over Ole Miss in the final quarterfinal matchup. Stockton takes a shotgun snap, drifts back, throws, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it down the left sideline to Dylan Bell. Bell was covered up by Kite. It's 4th down now, and let's see what Georgia decides to do here. It would be about a 54, maybe a 55-yard attempt. And here comes Peyton Woodring into the game. We've given a lot of praise to Lucas Carnero for Ole Miss, who's made 2 long field goals in the game. A Sugar Bowl record 55, and then Sugar Bowl record 56-yard. This is also 55 yards for Woodring. And the snapper in the country, Bo Gardner, will snap it back to Stockton. And the kick by Woodring from 55 is short. It was on line, but left a yard too short. And Ole Miss's defense makes a stand. They'll get the ball back. Down 21-12 with 8:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus, Hulu, and the ESPN app for one incredible price. With the ESPN app, you can watch some of football's biggest postseason games, including epic bowl matchups, the college football playoff, and NFL wildcard and divisional playoff games. Get it all for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Visit Disney Plus Hulu ESPNBundle.com for details. Ad-supported plan auto-renews at regular price. Currently $35.99 a month. Subject to change unless canceled. Ends January 5th, 2026. Terms apply.
Are you ready to unleash the beast?
Monster Energy
Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those? Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Taylor Zarzer with Matt Stinchcomb and Colt Kublik here in the Caesars Superdome, where Georgia leads Ole Miss 21-12. They could have extended the lead to 12, but Peyton Woodring just missed his second field goal of the year. He had made his last 9, and Cole, there's some spirit on the Ole Miss sidelines right now.
I wonder if that's something that you take into consideration if you're Kirby Smart on the Georgia sideline. I haven't seen the Ole Miss sideline that amped up since maybe early second quarter, maybe possibly middle of the second quarter. So that's a lot of football and a lot of time spent out here on this field that Ole Miss hasn't had a ton to get excited about, and Georgia just handed it to them. Not bad execution. Kick was up. It was on the way in, but a little bit short. Yet you give Ole Miss some real momentum as they take over possession.
Miami outplayed Ohio State last night. Oregon whipped Texas Tech, and Indiana embarrassed Alabama. This has been a fair fight so far here midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, and when you think about, given the circumstances of what Ole Miss is, we'll call it endured, you know, the divided attentions of some of these coaches, where they're having to serve dual roles, they're going to head to LSU, but having to coach or getting to coach a college football playoff participant and championship contender, they perform really well. This score could be very different. The missed field goal opportunity, you think about the 2-point conversion, you know, there's 4 or 5 points that aren't represented on the scoreboard right now for Ole Miss.
Chambliss fakes the handoff to Lacey, dumps it off out of the backfield. Here's Dejon Stribling on the run, past midfield, Stribling out of the backfield. That's a first down catch and run for 12 yards and an Ole Miss first down.
How about the game that Dejon Stribling is having now? 4 catches, 63 yards. He has been a weapon. Hey, got him lined up in the offensive backfield.
They mark him out at the 49-yard line. Now Lacey will take the carry there, past midfield, and runs into Georgia territory over the 45, down near the 43-yard line. Ole Miss and Georgia are meeting today for the 50th time between these two schools. They played games in Memphis and in Atlanta and Jackson many years ago, but those were home games for either one of the two schools. All the rest of the games have been on campus. This is the first neutral site meeting between the two schools. 2nd and 3, and Lacey tries to get around the left edge, but Georgia had pursuit the whole way. Quintavious Johnson finished Lacey off there. It's 3rd and 3.
Back-to-back plays where Dejon Stribling in the offensive backfield. On the previous play, he's sealing the backside. This time, he was a lead blocker. Keep in mind, he's typically the left side of the formation wide receiver. He's a deep threat. They got him in the backfield. He's out there smudging decals with the Georgia defense as a lead blocker.
Over 73,000 people here in the Superdome tonight. Ole Miss has more fans in Georgia, but the Dogs are yelling at Ole Miss's offense on a 3rd and 2. Chambliss snaps it to Stribling. Stribling tries to push his way to a first, but he's short. Stribling was tackled at the line of scrimmage that time at the 44 by Kristen Miller. It'll be 4th down, and the Ole Miss offense is staying on the field.
No hesitancy. There's absolutely no substitution for the offense, but because substituted, Georgia can too. Mass substitutions for the Georgia defensive side.
Chambliss has Diggs next to him. He's in shotgun. This ball snapped from Georgia's 44-yard line. Chambliss the snap, takes it back, drifts back, surveys, looking downfield, throws. It's a completion inside the 25, 20, 15, 10. Ball, Ole Miss. Harrison Wallace the third. Catch and then the run. Logan Diggs had a big block downfield. It's a 35-yard completion for the Rebels.
And the protection had to hold up. Georgia tried to bring pressure, and Logan Diggs at running back, he was the key to the pickup. Gave Trinidad Chambliss enough time for the receiver to uncover downfield. Ellis Robinson in coverage, and then the run after catch to get inside the 10.
First and goal, Ole Miss at the Georgia 8. Chambliss keeps it himself and takes on Georgia defenders down at the 7-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there. Elijah Griffin, the freshman from Cooler, Georgia, who has looked good throughout this matchup tonight, makes the tackle. Second and goal.
Son, they talk about Elijah Griffin, and repeatedly in this game, he's shown to be nearly, I'm not going to say unblockable, but he's more than a handful. Did a good job at the point of attack once again. And as we mentioned, the low red zone has been a challenge for Ole Miss at times, especially the back half of this season.
Chambliss in shotgun as Lacey to his left at the 7-yard line. On a snap, he hands to Lacey. Lacey has room at the right sideline, and it's a touchdown for Ole Miss. Keywan Lacey scores his 22nd rushing touchdown of the season. That's top 5 in SEC history, and it puts Ole Miss within 3.
Wow. When he's able to get out to the edge, I got a pretty good idea why. I mean, a Georgia defender got tackled on the edge. It was blocking on the edge there, looked like by tight end Trace Buckler. No flag. Lacey able to bounce it outside. What an answer by the Ole Miss Rebel offense to get it in the end zone. We just talked about it. Think about that missed field goal opportunity. Would change the entire complexion.
Lucas Carnero's extra point is good. With 4:51 left in the third quarter. Georgia 21, Ole Miss 19. This is a college football quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival, field goal, whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice cold. Those flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
All right, Mom and Dad, that's enough screen time for today.
I literally just saved us more money by finding 2 subscriptions we forgot about with Navy Federal Credit Union's mobile app.
Yeah, and I just protected our credit from cringe fraudsters with their security tech.
Don't you want to spend some time on social media?
Will social media help us manifest your college tuition?
Get the best banking ever with one of America's top-rated digital banking experiences, Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Are you really eating during the commercial break?
You bet. These Factor meals keep my head in the game.
Oh, yeah? So what do you got there?
This year's filet mignon and creamy Parmesan shrimp. With Factor, I get chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals delivered weekly. Perfect for pros like us.
Oh, so you're a pro now, too?
Box says Factor, eat like a pro. So, yeah.
I think it's time for you to share a bite like a pro.
No. Get your own at factormeals.com. Factor, eat like a pro.
To the college football playoff quarterfinal of the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
We have 4:51 to go in the third quarter here in the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. Georgia leads Ole Miss 21-19. That's Lindholm and Cole Kublik. I'm Taylor Zarzer. Before the game, Stinch and Cole were trying to guesstimate the separation of fans here between Ole Miss and Georgia. I'd say it's about 70% Ole Miss fans tonight, 30% Georgia fans, and there isn't an empty seat to be had here with over 73,000 people watching in attendance this SEC versus SEC matchup. It's only the 4th time in the history of the Sugar Bowl where both teams have represented the Southeastern Conference. All of those games. 7 plays, 63 yards, culminating with Ole Miss's 37th rushing touchdown of the season. And suddenly, the Rebels are only down 2, as once again Carnero kicks it through the end zone, and Georgia gets it at the 25-yard line, and Ole Miss fans are going nuts down there, Cole, trying to encourage their players against this Georgia offense.
Not to be excited about it. It has felt like the fans have kind of trying to betray who can be loudest at different points in this game, and obviously right now, with Ole Miss fans having a numerical advantage, maybe as loud as they've been this entire game.
Chauncey Bowens is on the field for Georgia as Gunnar Stockton is under center. And Georgia will start this drive at their own 25-yard line. Stockton, who's been nails all season at quarterback, will turn and fake the handoff. The rollout drive is being pressured, and he has to just get rid of it. Pressure in the backfield by Cam Franklin that time. He drove Stockton to the ground as he threw the completion into the bench. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, right now, the Georgia offense is completely out of sync. And credit the Ole Miss defensively. You think about previous possessions, 3 and out. The last possession by Georgia extended largely because of a penalty on that 3rd down. Otherwise, could have been another short possession. And an inauspicious start to this one on 1st down. Well defended by Ole Miss.
On 2nd and 10, Stockton shotgun snap, hands to Bowens. Bowens has running room, and he's clobbered at the 30-yard line by Wydett Williams. Bowens with a pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5 now for Georgia at their own 30-yard line.
That time Bowens tried to bounce it one time too many. Good job by Ole Miss. They got downhill quickly by Williams. They got to hold up in protection long enough for receivers to uncover. Right now, Ole Miss is doing a good job in coverage.
It's as loud as it's been in here tonight. Georgia just 3 of 8 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 5. Stockton, it's almost intercepted as he threw it right in the breadbasket of Will Eccles. Eccles deflected the pass, almost caught it, and intercepted it, but it drops to the ground, and Georgia, with another 3 and out, will be forced to punt.
But once again, it's dominance. Right now, you've got Georgia offensive linemen that are kind of standing there disengaged. Will Eccles is coming on a stunt. He's never going to get there from a sack. He's able to jump up. That ball hit him right in the face mask. He really didn't even have to get elevated. A lot of tip balls in this game.
And a fake. Cash Jones takes the snap as a protector. He throws a reverse, and it's caught. Lawson Lucky caught the pass as it was thrown by Landon Roldan. Cash Jones, the protector, took the snap, tossed it back to Roldan, who then threw the first down pass to Lawson Lucky. Some razzle-dazzle from Kirby Smart, calling a fake for a 16-yard completion from his own 29-yard line.
Wow, how about that? Stones. When you think about it right now, defense just gave up a drive. You missed a field goal. Your offense is stalling out. What can you do to try to recapture some momentum? A well-executed fake punt.
The biggest pass for Georgia tonight has come from Landon Roldan. Stockton now back at quarterback. He's ready to pass on play action from the 46. He launches deep down the sideline. It's incomplete. He tried to get it to London Humphreys near the goal line, but Humphreys was covered up down there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Good coverage by the Rebels that time. The incompletion.
Again, too greedy. You had an opportunity to get it to Lawson Lucky on the sail route. Instead, you try to cram it downfield. We've seen that a couple of times where Gunnar Stockton, he gets a little greedy, especially on a 1st down play-action shot play. Just because it's called doesn't mean you have to take it. It would have been a 20-yard completion if he throws it to his tight end.
6 straight incompletions now for Stockton. He's just 1 for his last 8. He'll turn, he'll fake the handoff, he'll roll out against his body to the left. He throws at the last minute. It's caught by Colby Young. Inside the 30, inside the 25. Stockton looked like he was going to be a runner. He faked out the Ole Miss defense and then threw it to Colby Young for 31 yards. And Georgia's inside Ole Miss's 25.
It's the improv. That's where Gunnar Stockton has probably been his best tonight. Great job by Colby Young sticking with it and knowing he could get downfield.
Longest play of the game for Georgia. Now it's Stockton as a runner taking on defenders at the 23-yard line, and he's tackled as he drives himself up to the 22. TJ Daugherty on the tackle, and Stockton is very slow to get up. He's taken a lot of hits tonight, Cole.
Well, on the previous play that you mentioned, about as backyard ball as you're going to get, actually jumped to get that football over the defender at the very last second. Had to know he was going to take a shot. Took it right in the rib cage, and then trying a little 360 rope-a-dope to miss, make a defender miss on that last play. Took another 2 hits with his body exposed.
He got crushed by Wydett Williams on that backyard ball. And it's second and 9. And you think another handoff and drift back, ready to throw. Throws line of scrimmage ball to Zachariah Branch over in the left flat, and Branch is out of bounds, tackled by Suntarian Perkins. It's a minimal gain. Now in the red zone as this ball will be put down at Ole Miss's 19-yard line. It's 3rd and 6 for Georgia, up 21-19 with 1:30 to go in the third quarter.
Georgia's got some length on the field at wide receiver for this third down. London Humphreys, Noah Thomas out wide to the right side of the formation at 6'5".
Cash Jones stands next to Stockton on 3rd and 6. Stockton pumps. He's pressured. He's under trouble. He's trying to get out of there, and he's dropped at the 20-yard line. Ole Miss defenders swarm him, and Suntarian Perkins finally puts him to the ground, and Kirby Smart says, let's kick the field goal. He'll send Peyton Woodring out there to try to increase Georgia's 2-point lead.
Well, it took all they could to get the ball this far down the field. You think about the heroics of Gunnar Stockton, get it to Colby Young off of the fake punt. But Ole Miss continues to win up front. That time Juan Gaston at right guard just gets beaten once again to get the pressure on Gunnar Stockton.
Woodring, who missed from 55. This is from 37 yards. He kept this up, and it is right through there. Georgia increases its lead to 5. It's 24-19 with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. How about this football game with only 30 seconds remaining till the final 15?
Well, when you think about these 4th down conversions, so now Georgia 1 for 1 off the fake punt. Pete Golding said, look, I'm going to go by feel. It's not just the analytics. He's gone for it twice on 4th down. He's 1 for 2. The big one, obviously, on that previous offensive possession. So both of these head coaches rolling the dice. Pete Golding to extend the possession. Kirby Smart just to try to get anything going offensively. It's been barren, really, for the Georgia offense, and it took that fake punt to spark that field goal.
Cole, it sure sounds loud down there at field level.
It is, and it's been sort of just trading battles between fan bases that are the loudest. Like I said earlier, it felt like they almost were having a competition with themselves, taking it a little bit personal that one side may be louder than the other. I haven't actually seen it affect the game as far as procedure penalties or having snap count issues. A couple of times having some issues of where to get certain guys lined up, but hadn't affected the game that much, but it's made for one hell of an environment here at the Sugar Bowl.
How about Kirk Benedict, the special teams coach, and Kirby Smart, the head coach, calling for Cash Jones to take a direct snap as the protector on a punt from their own 30-yard line, tossing it back to Landon Roldan, a freshman from Bogart, Georgia, who on the run downfield for a first down to Lawson Lucky to keep that drive going.
And you think Georgia's tried some other things. So Dylan Bell on the reverse, that was going to be a pass. He ended up throwing it away because Ole Miss defended it well. Haven't seen a lot of trickery, really, from Ole Miss. You know, did a little bit on a 4th down. They end up getting stuffed. They tried to kind of break the huddle late. The center was already over the football, but no fakes necessarily. So you see here in this game, you know it, obviously to advance to the semis, it's going to take plays like that. You think back to the regular season matchup and how tightly contested that game was.
Stings, I was surprised, though. There was a massive shift on that Georgia punt formation before they ran that fake. should have alarmed the punt return team, maybe even gotten you a timeout there, because I haven't seen Georgia get to that formation or shift to it. Had to know something was going on there, but an excellent play call at the time, and then obviously great execution as well.
Well, they did it. You know, you think about when they had to punt right before the end of the first half. Georgia had that big shift. Looked like Ole Miss was going to try to come after that punt. It was a different shift to a different formation, but they did flip the strength, moved about three of the protection to the other side. You don't know if maybe that was to cloak some of it, if they knew that they were going to use that fake punt later.
And then later in the drive, Gunnar Stockton to improvise, act like a runner. The last second throw a pass to Colby Young for 31 yards as he got hit again. And now Georgia's up 5 as Woodring kicks off and sends it into the Superdome sky, and it lands in the end zone for a touchback. One thing to wonder when Georgia gets the ball back is Gunnar Stockton. He is getting some hits tonight. We know he's tough. We know he drives his grandfather's two-tone 1984 F-150, but he's taking a lot of hits in this game. Meanwhile, Trinidad Chambliss and the Rebel offense, who have outgained Georgia by more than 70 yards, are back on the field.
Now you think about it, it's a great point. I mean, Gunnar Stockton, he runs like a truck, tough like a truck maybe. But you think about Ole Miss, they really have not. Georgia's not gotten in the Ole Miss backfield. One tackle for loss, wasn't a sack in the entire game so far.
Trinidad Chambliss on a sweep, hands off to Deuce Alexander, and he's tripped up in the backfield. It's a tackle for loss for Georgia. C.J. Allen was back there, so was Rayshawn Dinkins. It's second down and 11.
All right, so right on cue. 2 tackles for loss now for the Georgia defense. Rayshawn Dinkins, good job triggering upfield on the perimeter run D.
Ole Miss does not have to snap it before the end of the third quarter, and they won't. They'll have a second and 11 at their own 24-yard line when we start the fourth quarter. Georgia leads Ole Miss 24-19. This is the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily, so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
This is the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
We go to the final quarter of the final quarterfinal matchup in the college football playoffs. Georgia leads Ole Miss 24-19. With Matt Stinchcomb and Cole Kublik, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Ole Miss has the ball right now as they'll be at their own 24-yard line, a second and 11, down 5, going to this final quarter. Last time these two teams played in October, Trinidad Chambliss was just 1 of 10 passing for 1 yard in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Gunnar Stockton was 6 of 6, 71 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Georgia ended up winning the game.
The entire game turned on that fourth quarter. You think about Georgia ran 80 offensive snaps, 34 of them happened in the fourth quarter, just dominating that final stanza. But Ole Miss, offensively, it's been kind of a seesaw battle. They've been able to find ways to move the football. Can they take advantage of this possession here?
Chambliss at his own 24, takes the shotgun snap. Protection's picked up, but nobody's open. He's running for his life. Shovel pass. He throws to Lacey, who tiptoes the sideline and steps out of bounds. What a job by Chambliss to improvise and throw a backhanded shovel pass. Dalen Everett was right in his face, and he ends up throwing it, and he gets 3 yards out of it instead of losing 10 or 12.
Just incredible play by Trinidad Chambliss. And Brett Favre himself turned his back to the line of scrimmage, usually ill-advised, and almost was until he shoveled the ball to Kewan Lacey.
So it's now 3rd and 7 for Ole Miss at their own 28-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun. Lacey to his left, takes the snap, drifts back, facing pressure, rolls out to his right. He's in trouble. He's inside his own 5. He's at his own goal line. Now running back the other way. Throws wide open. Lacey's hit. He breaks the tackle. He gets the first down at the 35-yard line. KJ Bolden hit Lacey and then went to the ground and out of bounds. And there's another Georgia defender that's also injured on the play as Lacey, with the extra effort, gets the first down, and Ole Miss somehow moves the chains.
Twice now, where Trinidad Chambliss should be dead to rights, should be a negative yardage play. This is reminiscent of the regular season matchup, and it's C.J. Allen that's injured on the field. And keep in mind, you're already without Ja'Cory Thomas, your safety. Now your other safety, and K.J. Bolden. He should have made that tackle. Kewan Lacey's incredible.
And it looked like K.J. Bolden injured his left shoulder as he missed that tackle. C.J. Allen is up under his own power near the sideline pole.
I got to throw in Bryson Sanders out there, the center for Ole Miss, who had the opportunity to take a blindside block when Kewan Lacey was running back towards the Georgia sideline and decided to just kind of wall the defender off a little bit, not take the big shot. That kept the defender off of Lacey and allowed him to attempt that pass. Very intelligent play that probably allowed Ole Miss to be able to pick up those yards.
How about the improvising from both quarterbacks here in the second half? Ole Miss with a fresh set of downs at their own 36-yard line after an 8-yard play that felt a lot longer. Chambliss has Logan Diggs to his right, as Ole Miss will snap this from their own 36-yard line. 14 minutes to go in the game, down 5. Chambliss fakes the handoff, pressured again, rolling out to the right, looking downfield, launching down there, and it's caught. It's Harrison Wallace III who makes the catch inside the 30. Ellis Robinson on the tackle, but a big gain for the Rebels.
Once again, the worst thing the Georgia defense can do is get pressure on Trinidad Chambliss, because then it turns into sandlot football. Ellis Robinson completely loses track of where the receiver is. He's running stride for stride with Harrison Wallace. Just doesn't keep track of where he is. The ball gets completed over his head. Once again, Chambliss improvised.
A 44-yard completion down to the Georgia 20. Short throw to Stribling. Stribling jumps over the 15 and lands out of bounds near the 12 in front of Adrian Maddox. 44 yards for Ole Miss to the 20, and then Stribling with a short catch, and he's marked out of bounds inside the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2 for Ole Miss, who's threatening to take the lead against Georgia here with 13 minutes left.
And C.J. Allen now subbing back into the game. He came out of the game because he was injured for that previous snap. You're now down to your 3rd-string safety. Is in the game because Ja'Cory Thomas was removed after the targeting penalty. And now Adrian Maddox in there for the injured K.J. Bolden.
Play clock's down to 2. It's down to 1. And Ole Miss gets it off. Lacey on the handoff. He's near a first down, and he dives at the 10 right at the marker. And appears he's gotten it. It'll be 1st and goal for Ole Miss at the 10.
Look, Look, a lot will be made of a lot of things that have happened in this game. The story to me is Kewan Lacey and the fact that you can't tackle the guy. KJ Bold should have made the play, didn't. Kewan Lacey should have been tackled, gets the first down, and once again, he's able to get just enough to get the conversion. His yards after contact have been incredible.
81 yards rushing for Lacey tonight. Chambliss is by himself in the backfield. Wright is going in motion as a protector. And Chambliss will follow Wright around the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line by Zion Branch. It'll be 2nd and goal for Ole Miss from there.
It does seem like the commonality is you get Daquan, when Daquan Wright is in that backfield, they'll motion him. It's almost always, or at least it has been the last few times, Trinidad Chambliss on a QB keep. Once again, they're able to capture that edge to get positive yardage.
Chambliss in shotgun has Lacey to his right. At the left hash as Ole Miss is just 6 yards away from the Georgia end zone, down 5. Chambliss will hand off. Lacey running straight ahead near the goal line. He fires. Touchdown. Kewan Lacey scores and gives Ole Miss the lead with 11:29 to go. Ole Miss fans are going crazy here in the Caesar Superdome as their Rebels take the lead in the 4th quarter. 2 rushing touchdowns for Lacey tonight. He already had a school record 21 rushing touchdowns this season. He has 23 now. That's top 3 in SEC history in a season by a running back. And Ole Miss will go for 2. From the 3-yard line, Chambliss has Logan Diggs. They will go out as a wide receiver. It's an empty backfield. Chambliss takes the shotgun snap. Looks, throws, end zone. It's caught. And it's Harrison Wallace III that gets a foot down. And Ole Miss's lead is 3 now with 11:29 remaining in the 4th quarter over Georgia. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's back. The 2026 Silicon Valley Auto Show, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. From EVs to customs and exotics, you can see, touch, even test drive some of the latest models. The Silicon Valley Auto Show, sponsored by SEFCU, January 9th through the 11th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Get tickets now at svautoshow.com.
A Mochi moment from Sadie, who writes, I'm not crying, you're crying. This is what I said during my first appointment with my physician at Mochi, because I didn't have to convince him I needed a GLP-1. He understood, and I felt supported, not judged. I came for the weight loss and stayed for the empathy. Thanks, Sadie. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Sadie is a Mochi member compensated for her story. Dignity Health is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the San Francisco 49ers and Levi's Stadium. On or off the field, our doctors, nurses, and care teams work together to help our patients feel their best. From emergency and advanced cardiac services to maternity, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. We're your partner in health and wellness. Learn more about us at dignityhealth.org. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
There are 11 minutes and 29 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter. And now Ole Miss leads Georgia 27-24 with Cole Kublik and Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Taylor Zarzer. There are going to be a number of plays to look back on tonight that were massive. Let's point out two on this last offensive drive for Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss looked like he was dead to rights in the backfield and was going to lose 10 to 12 yards on a sack. Somehow got out of there and did a backward shovel pass to Kewan Lacey for 4 yards to give us a chance on 3rd and 7. Then on the next play, he ran some 30 yards around in the backfield before eventually finding a first down ball for 8 yards to Kewan Lacey to move the chains and keep the drive alive. Incredible improvising by the Ole Miss quarterback.
It's just remarkable. You finally are able to get a little bit of pressure on him. It just hasn't mattered. Then they did it again a little bit later. You get the big completion downfield. And Miss Robinson, the Ole Miss offense, ever since that missed field goal attempt by Georgia, Cole talked about the energy that it brought. Well, it's done more than that. It's brought points, back-to-back touchdowns for Ole Miss now.
Another touchback. Georgia will get up 25. We pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal and the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Happy holidays from all of us at the sports leader. KNBR and KNBR-FM San Francisco, a Cumulus Media station.
11:29 to go, down 3. Stockton fakes the handoff. Base, he's pressured, trying to get out of there. He stays upright, and he's on his feet, and he runs up to the 28-yard line. It looked like he was going to be sacked 5-yard long, but somehow Stockton keeps his balance and picks up a few yards. They'll give him 4 up to his own 29.
Once again, Xavier Harris just able to get pressure. They're doing that run action, trying to get the defense to think run on what would be a pass attempt, but the pressure got upfield right now, forced Stockton to tuck it.
2nd and 6 for Stockton in this offense. He has Nate Frazier behind him, and Stockton's in the pistol set, and he'll turn and hand to Nate, who tries the left side. He gets over the 30-yard line, runs into Ole Miss defenders near the 32. Xavier Harris on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and about 3 for Georgia from there. There are 68,371 people in here, Matt, and all of them are about to make some noise on this 3rd down.
Well, they're certainly going to try to find a way. We talked about how it's kind of been back and forth. Hadn't seen it really impact the game with procedure penalties because of the sound. But they'll certainly stand up on this 3rd down. What looks to be another pass attempt. Got Cash Jones, the 3rd down back in the backfield with Gunnar Stockton.
Georgia's 3 of 10 on 3rd down tonight. This is a 3rd and 3. Stockton facing pressure, trying to get out of there, and he's tackled short of the line to gain. He's at the 33-yard line where Cam Franklin tackles him. There's still Ole Miss defenders that are down on the play as Georgia's punting team is coming back out.
Yeah, that's Xavier Harris. We've mentioned his name repeatedly tonight. If he's not disrupting the offensive backfield, negative yardage plays, tackles for loss, deflecting passes. And he's the one that's down on the turf. But once again, Ole Miss defense stuffing the Georgia offense, forcing another 3 and out.
We'll check on the senior from Canton, Mississippi, Xavier Harris, in just a moment. We take a break with 9:57 to go in the 4th quarter. It's Georgia 24, Ole Miss 27. This is the College Football Playoff.
Yeah, I have to make it free, or they give me a copyright.
And the ESPN app.
Hey, fans! Welcome back!
I have the real
Fansville's
game on
Cheers!
there. They give me a copyright.
And tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
It's your last chance to get Disney Plus and the ESPN app for one incredible price. With the ESPN app, you can watch some of football's biggest postseason games, including epic bowl matchups, the college football playoff, and NFL wild and divisional playoff games. Get it all for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Visit Disney Plus Hulu ESPNBundle.com for details.
Yeah, article. Yeah, bro. Article 3-4-7.
Change unless canceled. And change 20 apply.
All right, Mom.
and done. That's enough screen time for today.
I literally just saved us more money by finding 2 subscriptions we forgot about with Navy Federal Credit Union's mobile app.
Yeah, and I just protected our credit from cringe fraudsters with this security tech.
Don't you want to spend some time on social media?
Will social media help us manifest your college tuition?
Get the best banking ever with one of America's top-rated digital banking experiences, Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information.
This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Ole Miss 27, Georgia 24, 9:57 to go in the fourth quarter. With Matt Stinchcomb and Cole Kublik, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Peyton Woodring missed a 55-yard goal attempt in the third quarter that would have given Georgia a 24-12 lead. Since then, Ole Miss has scored 15 unanswered points, 2 touchdowns, and added a 2-point conversion on the last touchdown. They're up 27-24, and they just forced another 3-and-out against the Georgia offense. And Brett Thorson will punt it away. This will be his 5th punt attempt of the night. He said a moment ago that it would have been his 5th punt, but it was a fake by Georgia. This one snapped at their own 33-yard line. And let's see if Georgia gets cued again. Yes, Thorson is leaving the field. And the Georgia offense is coming back on a 4th and 2 at their own 33. Gunnar Stockton is their quarterback in shotgun. Georgia has 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Stockton on a direct snap, takes the snap, surveys, he's under pressure, he's sacked. Back at the 25, the ball comes out, it's a turnover on downs. Ole Miss on fourth field. It's Terry Perkins, one of the
Georgia giving it away.
in Ole Miss history, forces that turnover downs, and Georgia got aggressive there on their own side of the field.
I would say reckless in that scenario, especially where the element of surprise is gone. We've already seen a fake punt. They've seen it a couple of times. Georgia did this versus Mississippi State, did it later. Ole Miss is familiar with this team. They're also familiar with that strategy of the late substitution. Gunnar Stockton, it looked as if the offense was a little bit staggered. Left tackle Monroe Freeling was late out of his stance. That was an ill-fated snap from the get-go and a huge turn of events for Ole Miss to maybe perhaps stab it in here one more time.
Chambliss from the 23 of Georgia's looking downfield, throwing, and it's caught by Daquan Wright. Wright's near another first down at the 13-yard line. It is enough for the first down for Ole Miss on a 10-yard completion.
See Ole Miss over the football quickly after a quick change, putting the pressure on the Georgia defense in the low red zone.
Chambliss in shotgun, brings Ray in motion. He'll fake the handoff. He'll throw a one-on-one ball end zone. Touchdown Ole Miss. Harrison Wallace III made the catch on DeMello Jones. And Ole Miss is up 2 scores. What a turn of events here in New Orleans in the second half for Pete Golding's Rebels against Kirby Smart's Bulldogs.
It's interesting. We were talking about the end of the first half and in-game situations and how you manage it. Ole Miss wasn't able to get a field goal off because it was a mismanaged end of half. But here, see this, the 4th down attempt. It was desperate, certainly early in that scenario, and you're giving your opponent, in this instance, a layup in an offense that has now scored 3 straight touchdowns.
Tarnero's extra point is good. 9:02 to go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss leads Georgia 34-24. Cole, what did you think about Georgia's decision to go for it and Ole Miss's ability to capitalize off of it?
Well, I heard Stinch reference a couple of things earlier this year. It actually reminded me of this game a year ago when that was attempted by the Georgia Bulldogs and were unable to convert. It felt like there was a little bit of panic that set in. Like Stim said, didn't feel like they were extremely comfortable getting to the line of scrimmage and snapping that football. Did not feel like it was necessary at the time, but I guess Kirby Smart looking for any kind of an edge that he can get, because I can tell you right now, fellas, every ounce of momentum lies
Appreciate
on that
the
Ole Miss
likes,
sideline
guys.
and with the Ole Miss faithful that are here.
Hope you guys have a great new year.
You know what may have happened is that Kirby Smart's looking out there and he's going, look, I got a bunch of backups playing on my defense. I'm not sure if I punt the football, maybe we get another stop. If anything, maybe it's just desperation. I can play offense, so I don't have to go play defense. Shocking to think that that's the scenario, but perhaps that played into it. Either way, game situation, 9 minutes plus left on the clock, minus deep in your own territory. Really, we'll call it aggressive. I would say reckless decision there.
Georgia is number 1 in the country on fourth down conversions this year, but that one bites them. Carnero kicks it through the end zone, and now Georgia has the ball at their own 25, down 10 with 9:02 to go in the game. The average margin of victory last year in the college football playoffs was 14.8 points per game. So far this year, it's 17.8 points per game.
Last 5 Georgia offensive possessions. 3 and out, 3 and out. Field goal attempt missed. That was after a extended third down because of pass interference. A field goal after a fake punt and a turnover on downs ruled a fumble. The offense has vanished for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Stockton with 1 on the play clock, trying to get it off, claps his hands, barely does. Surveys, throws, deep downfield, one-on-one ball incomplete. Is there a flag? Yes. Taylon Taylor was covered up by Jalen Braxton. Braxton didn't let Taylor make a play on the ball.
I think that might be the first time that I've seen the noise affect one of the two teams. I don't think the guards actually got the call from Gunnar Stockton.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic. It's down.
We're watching it one more time on the replay up here, Matt. What'd you see?
Yeah, I'm surprised that a flag came out, honestly. Now, there's tons of contact, yes. That ball was thrown well inside of Taylor. And I think Pete Golding, after that play, he was basically like, hey, man, you just keep playing. This is one of those plays where the ball just went against you.
Georgia now at their own 40. Stockton shotgun, stands tall, throws short. It's caught, and breaking a tackle is Frazier, and Frazier gets the first down over the 50 to the Ole Miss 49. And Frazier is frantically telling his teammates to get on the ball with 8:40 to go in the game. Georgia going quickly. Stockton in shotgun with Frazier next to him. He'll hand to Frazier, running right at Ole Miss. He gets 8, 9, 10, 11 yards. Down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Physical run by Frazier there. That takes him to over 70 yards rushing on the game.
We can see Georgia very much in hurry-up mode. This isn't just tempo. Trying to flip the formation to move Dillon Bell to the opposite side.
Just over 8 minutes remaining in the game. Georgia down 10 to Ole Miss. Driving on the Rebels inside their 40. Stockton making some changes. Comes back to the line of scrimmage. Now in shotgun, he moves to his left. Stockton claps his hands, takes the football, looks up, pumps, wants to throw deep, and does. Downfield, and it's incomplete. Over the head of Colby Young. Too high for Young. It's 2nd and 10. 7:51 to go in the game. As Georgia will have the football at Ole Miss's 38.
Hard to throw it too high for Colby Young at 6'4", saw him make excellent protection held up.
It's made by Sakuki White. A couple of 20 more yards in a Georgia round.
At that time, Ole Miss only rushing 3. Plenty of room for Gunnar Stockton to operate versus zone in the backside. Able to find Sakobi White. First signs of life, really, that we've seen from the Georgia offense that hasn't required extreme measures. Fake punts or heroics on broken plays.
Georgia scored all 3 times they've been in the red zone. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Under 7:15 to go in the game. Down 10. Stockton takes the shotgun snap from the 18-yard line. He throws short side. It's incomplete. He threw it behind his intended target, Noah Thomas, and the clock stops with 7:08 to go.
Missed opportunity again. Had a chance to get it to London Humphrey, the left side of the formation. If not that, you had numbers. Here drew back out of the backfield with Oscar Delp out front. Instead, Stockton stayed to the right side of the formation and just missed on No Thomas once again, but a chance could have put it in the end zone.
Gunnar Stockton at quarterback in shotgun. Bowen to his left on a 2nd and 10 from Ole Miss's 18-yard line. Takes the shotgun snap. Looks left. Throws. Deep ball. End zone. Caught. Zachariah Branch going to the ground. The grab. Gushigan of Ole Miss. And Georgia has made it a one-score game again.
You wonder early in that possession, the tempo helping. You get a couple of runs, you're able to pop. That's one of those things. You're not a tempo-oriented offense, but it takes that pressure early downs to get into it. And I think that certainly helped reestablish some of the rhythm for Georgia that's been lacking really since the end of the first half. That last possession in the second quarter was ugly. It hasn't been good since.
Peyton Woodring on to make it a 3-point game. And his extra point is up, and it is good. 7:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss leads Georgia 34-31. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
The college football playoff isn't over. Not yet. That epic run, that wild dream, not over till the clock hits 0. Till the stadium shakes. Till the wild things are let loose. The trophy lifted and the confetti falls. This is the national championship. It's over. You'll feel it. This is the wild world of college football. The CFP National Championship, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Appreciate the
But you know
gift.
to check
Thank you.
Curb Street's pregame analysis first before
Thank you
talking
for
to your
that.
brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch over the offensive line versus the front seven. If you get pressure without blitzing, a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you can save. You're in good hands with
No, it
Allstate.
doesn't.
Potential savings vary, including based on value, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to the college football quarterfinal of the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and ESPN app.
Miami beat Ohio State last night in Arlington. It was a 10-point victory for the Hurricanes. Earlier today, Oregon
figure it out. I'll
played
send you a
Texas
thank
Tech,
you.
and Indiana steamrolled Alabama. You don't have a team in the fight. You were hoping for a close game tonight. Well, you got here in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss leads Georgia 34-31 with 7:03 to go in the fourth quarter in a game that has gone back and forth. With Cole Kubelik and Matt Stinchcomb, I'm Taylor Sarzer. Georgia just scored on a touchdown pass from Gunnar Stockton to Zachariah Branch to cut the deficit to 3. And they'll kick off to Ole Miss here in the fourth quarter, moving from left to right.
Like Stockton on the sidelines, he reviews that series, getting his right throwing hand worked on a little bit.
Peyton Woodring kicks it off and kicks it over the head of Ole Miss, returning in. And Trinidad Chambliss will come out at the 25-yard line. Cole in the second half, Chambliss is 12 of 12, 162 yards and a touchdown, and he's run for 14 more yards.
That 12 of 12 doesn't do it justice either, because you mentioned the shovel pass a little bit earlier. Taylor, the first thing I thought is shovel pass does that no justice at all, as he was torqued sideways, trying to force that thing down the field. He's had to elude pressure. He's retreated 15, 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage and still found completions. He has been phenomenal here in the second half.
At his own 25-yard line with 7:03 to go. He has Kewan Lacey next to him. He hands to Lacey, who tries the left side. He's got running room, and he's over the 30, and he's tackled over the 31 by KJ Bolden. Lacey is over 90 yards rushing on the game, 95 to be exact, on a 7-yard run. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Over and over again in this game. If I'm not marveling at Kewan Lacey's ability to break tackles, it's his speed on some of these bounce runs. He presses the line of scrimmage, gets the defenders to suck up inside, and then just bounces out.
6:30 to go in the game. Ole Miss up 3 with the ball at the 32-yard line. Lacey takes the handoff again. He's in the backfield. Trinidad Chambliss wanted a face mask call as Joseph Jonah Ajonia made the tackle. It's a loss on the play back to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
It should have been a face mask. Ajonia spun Kewan Lacey around with his left hand. That's a big miss. Ajonia getting a lot more snaps. Gabe Harris unable to go. Ajonia getting a lot more reps in this game.
Instead, it's 3rd and 5 for Ole Miss. Chambliss alone in his field throws a slant. It's deflected. It's Jonah Ajonia again, who deflects the football, and Georgia gets a 3 and out.
That's a huge defensive stop. Wow. We're talking about deflections in this game. How many have we seen? 6? These passes right at the line of scrimmage. Defenders able to get their hands up and deflect those balls just as good as a pass breakup. Nearly intercepted by Quintavious Johnson, but a big stop after 3 straight touchdown drives.
Oscar Bird punting for the 3rd. Zachariah Branch waiting on it. It bounces to him at the 25-yard line. He's trying to take it around the right side. He has blocking, but he is pushed out of bounds on the sideline near the 35-yard line. It's a 45-yard punt. It's a 10-yard return. And now Georgia gets the football back, down 3 with 5:33 remaining.
And you're not going to see any panic out of the University of Georgia. We talked about that 4th down try. Might have been reckless. Felt like maybe, in the moment anyway, the decision could have been born of panic. But they're actually in a comfort zone late in games like this.
They've overcome deficits of 14, 9, and they're down 10 at one point tonight. And they have the football at their own 36-yard line, and Gunnar Stockton's in the pistol set with Nate Frazier behind him. Stockton claps his hands, turns hands to Frazier. Frazier runs around left side. First to speed, first down run for Frazier over the 45, past the 47-yard line. Taj Chambers on the tackle. Frazier picks up 12 more.
That's reminiscent of the early possession. I want to say the 3rd possession of this ball game, where Georgia was able to get excellent push, well blocked, right at the point of attack. But more than anything, the Georgia offensive line displaced the Ole Miss Rebel D-line, bounced them off the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10, Georgia at their own 47. Stockton has Frazier behind him. Takes the snap, turns, hands to Frazier again, trying to the middle. There's nothing there. He stutter steps and then hesitates and runs forward after a yard or 2. Xavier Harris on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and long with 4:40 to go in the game.
Boy, Xavier Harris has had a whale of a game, and Nate Frazier is shaken up. He got bent back awkwardly at the end of that play. Had some defenders on the back of his legs. And it looks like he's definitely grabbing at that left leg. He's the most explosive runner that Georgia has had this year. They've got others that contribute. Dwight Phillips Jr. has got bursts. He hadn't played a very big role down the stretch. Chauncey Bowens, of course, is an option as well. We've seen him this afternoon, but you saw Frazier the previous possession and early on this one, where he explodes through the hole differently.
Yes, Steve, you mentioned that previous run by Nate Frazier quickly downhill with all the movement that Ole Miss has had success with. And Pete Golding told us before the game he was going to be more aggressive up front with that defensive line. I expected more of those quick hitting runs to try and attack right at that Ole Miss defense to make them wrong when they don't replace a defender that's going east or west.
Well, it certainly seems like, I'm with you, that's what the ones that they were most effective with in the first half. And you see Frazier got the helmet off, definitely frustrated, but the more he walks, the better he looks. When he first started the sideline, while still limping, looked at least a little bit better. Doesn't matter.
He's played like a warrior tonight. 15 carries, 86 yards, but he's out of the game. And Josh McCray, the fifth-year senior transfer from Illinois, is in the game now on a 2nd and 8 for Georgia. Clock is running again with under 4:30 to go in the game. Ole Miss has a 3-point lead. Gunnar Stockton comes up to the line of scrimmage. He's under center with McCray. Stockton takes the snap. He'll hand to McCray. McCray's going to try the left side. Stutters, and he's tackled, lost. Inmate, wide Williams, and Andrew Jones were there on the tackle to be 3rd and long.
Get downhill at 240 pounds. Bounce runs aren't going to work on this. It rallied to that football. As soon as he had to bounce it, that was a win for the Ole Miss Rebel D.
It's 4-down territory. It's 3rd and 9 for Georgia. 3:44 to go. Their own 48-yard line. Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones next to him. Surveying. Looking. He'll throw short to Jones. Jones gets a block, and he gets nothing. He's tackled by Jones again. The senior from Marrero, Louisiana, makes the tackle. There's 3:20 to go in the game. It's now going to be 4th and long for Georgia.
And Kirby Smart had to run out onto the field. It looked like the punt team was ready to go out there. He sent him right back.
And Pete Golding will call timeout. Ole Miss uses their first timeout. 3:09 remaining in the 4th quarter. Georgia could punt the ball back here, Cole. Down 3:09. Hope their defense to get off the field. Instead, Kirby Smart keeps the offense out there at his own 48 on a 4th and 9.
It's an interesting call. Also, keep in mind, we've had those late exchanges of punt team on, punt team off from Georgia multiple times in this game, multiple shifts by the punt team late in the play clock as well. You still have 3 timeouts. 3:13 to go. You still have a 2-minute break as well. So you have 4 clock stoppages with 3:13 left, and you're down 3 points in this game. Stinch talked about Kirby being a little bit aggressive, maybe even somewhat irresponsible with these calls earlier in the game. This one, it feels like it would be super hyper-aggressive to me if you're going to go ahead and go for this 4th and 9 here.
When the offense is back out on the field, Cole, I'm with you. I punt the football. You just got to stop defensively. You'd like to think you can give your defense a chance to do it again. See if they actually snap this football much like they did the last time.
They're 14 of 19. Georgia is on 4th downs this year. That's number 1 in all of college football. This is a 4th and 9 from their own 48. Gunnar Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones to his left. Georgia moving from left to right. Stockton takes the shotgun snap. Pressure's picked up. He throws. It's caught at the 35-yard line. Zachariah Branch found a soft spot in the Ole Miss defense, and he picks up 16 yards for a Georgia first down.
How about that? Protection holds up. Throws on target. They only brought 2. They end up spying one, dropping another defender that was at the line of scrimmage. Still able to find a place to put the football to the number 1 target receiver on their offense.
Stockton takes the shotgun snap with a fresh set of downs. No one's open. There's flags down now as he throws to the pitch. It's incomplete.
No tackle, Ernest Green going to get him. He's going to see it by his reaction to the official. He knows it's coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's right in front of the white hat, the head referee.
Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
First holding call of the game, I believe. And boy, you can't help but to make that one. The problem is Gunnar Stockton had an opportunity to get it to Zachariah Branch early in the down. Instead, he pulls it down, and that's what leads to the holding call. You know, Ernest Green ends up throwing Suntarine Perk to the ground. You don't have to do it. It's just not necessary. You're for the flag to come out.
It's 1st and 20 now for Georgia. Back at Ole Miss's 46-yard line. Peyton Woodring is made from 55 and 56. Both Sugar Bowl records already in the game. Stockton takes the shotgun snap. He surveys. He's got time, and the ball's deflected at the line of scrimmage again. All night has been deflecting footballs, and he gets another one.
It's incredible.
2:32 to go with the clock stopped.
Sorry, Taylor. It's just, I can't Look, the best defensive backs, the best coverage so far has been the line of scrimmage for Ole Miss. Once again, Eccles coming in on a stunt. He keeps stunting towards the middle of the line of scrimmage. He gets right in the passing lane.
And let me correct, Carnero of Ole Miss made those 55 and 56-yard field goals, of course. Woodring missed from 55 earlier in the game. His long this year is 53. Ole Miss needs another 10, 12 yards to put him in a reasonable spot. Stockton in shotgun, throws short to Branch. Branch gets a block. He's inside the 40. He's still on his feet as he dives ahead to the 35. Now they're in Woodring range as the clock runs under 2:20 to go. It'll be third down for Georgia as they picked up more than half the yards they needed there, down to the 35-yard line.
Man, an effective play for the Georgia offense. That looked like it should have picked up even more. It was set up perfectly. The convoy in front of Zachariah Branch, one of the best open field runners in college football.
The 2-minute timeout happens now before a 3rd and 9 for Georgia here at the Ole Miss 35-yard line. With Matt Stinchcomb and Cole Kubelik, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Ole Miss leads Georgia 34-31. Cole, if you're the Dogs here on this 3rd and 9.
Oh, you were right, my bad,
And
dude.
you have 2 plays
Sorry,
to
I
get the first
cock
down,
blocked you, bro.
or are you bringing Woodring on to tie the game?
I think it depends on how much you gain on this initial third down. You probably want to get just a little bit more to get into a more comfortable range. I want something with Gunnar Stockton on the move that gives him the option to throw it or tuck the football and run it. And as you mentioned, some of that play call, Taylor, is going to depend on if you know this is 2-down territory or not, because you're not going to have to try and pick it all up. But I think I want my quarterback on the move. He's shown a lot of toughness, a lot of grit tonight. We know he's capable of doing with the ball in his hands. And the coverage is there. I want him to be able to pick that football and be able to run and to pick up first down yardage.
And see, the hard part there is, I'm with you, that'd be ideal. The problem is the ball spotted on the right hash. We've seen a couple of great plays by Gunnar Stockton rolling to his left. He got rocked. He's jumped twice, rolling to his left just so he can get his throwing arm around. But it's not ideal when you're on the short side of the field. That right hash is a right-handed thrower. It kind of limits what the play call could be coming out. Otherwise, if you're thinking move the extension, it's the throwing off. Taylor, I think if you don't get the first down, even if it's 4th and short, Peyton Woodring has been an excellent place kicker. You kick the football there. I don't think if you don't, the way your defense, you got one stop, I don't know that you get the football back with another chance at it.
Woodring missed from 55 earlier in the game. His career long is 55 against Clemson in the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta at the beginning of the 2024 season. He made a 53-yarder outdoors at Auburn. His long on the season this year. From here, it would be 53 yards if Georgia picks up nothing on this third down. By the way, Georgia is 0 for 6 on third downs in the second half and just 3 for 12 in the game.
Of course, one of those third downs that they did not convert, fake punt to extend that drive. We've seen 2 other third downs where drives are extended because of penalty. It has not been a good night on third down for Georgia.
And earlier on this drive, before they went for it on 4th down, they weren't able to convert. Georgia huddles up at the 2-minute timeout and gets ready to break it in play on a 3rd and 9, trailing Ole Miss 34-31. Here in the waning moments of the All-State Sugar Bowl, what a thriller it's been here in New Orleans. Gunnar Stockton is in shotgun. Cash Jones leads the backfield. Stockton takes the shotgun snap. He pumps. He's looking. He throws downfield, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to Lawson Lucky, and here comes a flag.
Oh, late flag. Come
was
on.
covering Lucky downfield. The senior from Hawaii.
Pass interference. Defense number 14.
So late.
2-yard penalty from the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
Matt Cole and you have questioned some calls earlier in the game. What'd you think of this one?
Well, I think it's legit this time. Lawson Lucky caught 3 touchdown passes. He's trying to get back to it. And Gushikin actually gets his head back around. Lucky could not get back there, but all 3 penalties for Ole Miss, against Ole Miss have been pass interference. A huge penalty there.
Gushikin's helmet went into Lucky before the ball arrived, which threw the flag. Stockton at the 20-yard line in shotgun will hand to Bowens. Bowens jumps over Rebels at the 17-yard line and is tackled there. Clock is running. 1:45 to go in the game. Georgia has all 3 of their timeouts. Ole Miss has 2 left.
Stints, they're close for busting that big one on that Ole Miss movement up front. That was one there where that replacing defender outside with contain barely got there to make that play.
Yeah, repeatedly, you're right. And we've seen this a couple times. It's come in handy for Ole Miss with some of the pass deflections. But in the run game, if that replaced defender doesn't get there, you block yourself with the line movement.
1:15 to go in the game. Stockton takes a shotgun snap, pumps, now throws, one-on-one ball, end zone, flags are on the field again as he was looking for Colby Young, and it's Gushikin again that's going to get called for it.
So they went with the screen and go.
Another pass.
Colby Young acted like bluff, like he was going to block under the bridge.
Holding defense number 14. Penalties enforce half the distance to the goal line and it's an automatic first down.
And so when Young released, Gushikin just basically holds it. Ball doesn't come out just yet. It's a screen and go. Ball comes out after the hold would have taken place. Would have been PI afterwards as well. Regardless, Georgia now in a goal-to-go scenario, back-to-back penalties.
Ole Miss did not commit a penalty in the first half. 4 big ones here in the second half. Several on this drive. First and goal for Georgia inside Ole Miss's 9 with 1:13 to go in the game. Stockton is in shotgun. He takes a snap. He follows his blockers in front. Inside the 5, he dives down to the 3, and the clock is going to be stopped with 1:08 to go. Ole Miss uses their second timeout.
There for a moment, there was an offensive lineman. It looked like it was left tackle Monroe Freeling. It's a little slow getting up. There's a big pile on that run to the left, and Freeling still trying to
I'm going to fall down. I'm not trying to kick field goal.
So now a second and
I got
goal.
3 plays to get
Cole, how about this game? Both
3
teams
yards.
have run exactly 67 plays apiece, separated by 3 points with 1:08 left.
I actually feel like this break is a big advantage for the Ole Miss defense, even though I wonder, what is Pete Golding's thought process on time remaining? He obviously holds still for a field goal. It would be tied if Georgia would convert, but if you go down, we're approaching a minute left in this game, 1 timeout left for Ole Miss, but one of the things Pete Golding was concerned about in their first meeting, Will Eccles and Suntarine Perkins played 74 snaps. Xavier Harris, Cam Franklin played 63 snaps. They're up over that tonight, but they just got a little bit of a break with Eccles and Harris both back in the middle of this defense for the Rebels.
Second and goal, Georgia at the Ole Miss 3 on the 10th play of the drive. Georgia is 51 of 56 in the red zone this year with 44 touchdowns. Gunnar Stockton comes up to the line of scrimmage to make some changes. Under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. 1:08 left in the game. Bowens to Stockton's left. Handoff goes to Bowens inside. He loses yardage in the backfield. Suntarine Perkins on the tackle for loss. That'll take Georgia outside the 5, and Ole Miss uses their final timeout with 1:04
2
left.
plays
That
to get
looked like
5
it
yards
should have been
now.
a pull read by Gunnar Stockton on the
Putting goal in the
backside.
lose yards.
Perkins was all over, crashing on the backside of that zone read. If Gunnar Stockton pulls it, he walks into the end zone.
Stitch, I think you're right, and I'll go back to what we talked about 2 plays earlier. The exchange in the middle of that Ole Miss defensive line, a little run stunt, run twist there that put 2 defenders right where that play was attempting to go. And yes, Suntarine Perkins crashed immediately off the edge. Felt like there was a lot of green if the Georgia quarterback holds onto that football.
That is the 8th tackle for loss
What's
for
up,
Ole
VR
Miss
game?
tonight.
That was one of the things that Pete Golding talked about. He said, look, we got to be more aggressive. They were to be smart with some of the line activity, sure, but they had to create negative yardage plays. They've certainly done it.
That was a 3-yard loss for Georgia. Third and goal, Georgia at the Ole Miss 6. 1:04 to go in the game. Ole Miss out of timeouts, leading Georgia 34-31 here in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Cash Jones is the back next to Stockton, who's in shotgun.
You got 6'4" Colby Young to the left side of the formation.
And 3 receivers are out to the right. Stockton takes the shotgun snap. He's looking right. He's surveying. He throws to the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. It's broken up back there by Wydad Williams, who was covering Oscar Help on the play. And it's
Great
now
defense
4th
by
and
Ole
goal
Miss.
at the 6. And here comes Georgia's kicking team to try to tie the game.
What a hold by the Ole Miss Rebel Eagles. You're facing first and goal, and you find a way to deny the end zone. Wasn't even. Williams probably should have picked that off in front of Oscar Delp. Surprised he didn't give Colby Young a shot at that one.
And now it's Peyton Woodring to tie the game with 59 seconds to go. This will be a 24-yard attempt. Bill Gardner to snap it back. Gunner stopped him to hold it. Good execution. Woodring puts his right leg in it, and he drives it through and ties the game with 56 seconds to go. 34 all here in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Well, after a day of
Ole Miss has one timeout.
how about this game? We're going to here in the Sugar Bowl for what was an ugly day of games.
There's an Ole Miss player that is still down at the 5-yard line.
Ole Miss kicker kicked a 55-yarder
And
earlier.
it's Savian Harris.
Second time he's been down. And Cole was talking about it earlier. Seen a lot of snaps. Part of it is, right, so you play for overtime. You force what could be overtime. 56 seconds. No timeouts left for Ole Miss, but plenty of time with the way that offense and as explosive they've been. But if this goes to extra time, that's more reps for what is becoming a lot of snaps for that defensive front that's been excellent. Harris has been helped off the field twice now in this game.
He was tapping those hamstrings, Sting, so I'm wondering, maybe both of them, by the way. So I'm hoping that's probably a cramp there for him.
Yeah.
Ole Miss's offense in the last 6 seasons is notorious for how quickly they can move the football down the field. Be ironic if they were able to move down in the scoring position without the man that was the mastermind behind that. Lane Kiffin, of course, no longer their head coach. Now with LSU, Charlie Weiss, his offensive coordinator, is the play caller. We'll see how aggressive Ole Miss gets once they get the football back. Woodring set to kick off. There's been nothing but touchbacks tonight in this game. Isaiah Hartrip is standing at his 4-yard line.
In the back of your mind, as a play caller, you have to know you set a Sugar Bowl record for place kicking. Field goals made. Hardero's been outstanding tonight.
Woodring kicks another touchback. And Ole Miss is at the 25-yard line. And to your point, to give Hardero a reasonable chance, they need about 35 yards in order to do that. That's not a lot of real estate. They don't have any timeouts. Kicks left in regulation is Trinidad Chambliss, who's been outstanding, comes back onto the field at quarterback for the Rebels. He's thrown for 322 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's run it for 14 more.
And if you're Georgia, how aggressive are you defensively? They were able to get pressure, but they brought pressure. They weren't necessarily winning with just 4. They were bringing extra rushers. They got the Chambliss, but on a touchdown drive, it didn't matter. It just kept it straight.
Chambliss is in shotgun at his own 25-yard line. Waiting on the snap. Bringing right in motion. He's going to hand it off to Lacey. Lacey hesitates and runs forward to the 30. And remember, Ole Miss is out of timeouts. Chris Cole makes the tackle as the clock ticks. 45 seconds left in the game. Now at 42. Down to 40. At 39. Chambliss takes the snap. He surveys. He's rolling around to the right. He throws downfield. It's close. Incomplete. Collecting the ball, Caden Lee, but he was crushed by Zion Branch as he tried to make the catch and turn and be a runner. And Branch drilled Caden Lee, who ended up unable to make the catch, and Lee is still down on the ground with 32 seconds left to go in the game.
A monster hit by Zion Branch. Keep in mind, he's in the game because Ja'Cory Thomas disqualified due to a targeting penalty, a big play, big hit in the first half. Zion Branch, that's a completion. If he doesn't come in and lower the boom, clean hit, a violent hit that separated Caden Lee from the ball, he's still down on the turf here in the Superdome.
They're very fortunate that ball didn't hang in the air just for an extra second or two, because there were 2 Georgia defenders near him. The ball did kind of pop up as it came out of Caden Lee's hands. Very close to being intercepted after it was dislodged.
Yeah. Anytime you see these balls deflected up, especially defensively, it's like, look, there's a lot more defenders in the area. than there are offensive players unless somebody ran the wrong route. It's dangerous. Big hit, though, to deny that completion.
Lee is no longer laying on his back. He's sitting up, and now he's standing up, ironically playing for Ole Miss, but from Bulldog country, from Kennesaw, Georgia. He's made 39 catches on the season, a veteran wide receiver, a 2-year starter, who is being attended to, and he is walking under his own power over to the Ole Miss sideline. So now it's 3rd and 5 for Ole Miss at their own 32-yard line. Now, Georgia does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining if they're able to force a 4th down here. Ole Miss at their own 30. Tie game, 32 seconds remaining. Trinidad Chambliss in shotgun. Georgia looks like they're bringing pressure, and they do. Chambliss throws downfield. He's got a man. Deshaun Stribling makes the catch. He beat DeMello Jones for the football, and he's down inside the 30-yard line. It's a 40-yard completion.
Just saw Kirby Smart coaching up his DBs on the sideline. You had to know nothing gets behind you. Instead, DeMello Jones, again, losing track of where the receiver is.
Chambliss takes the shotgun snap with 20 seconds left. That's almost intercepted. He tried to throw a ball on the sideline to Winston Watkins, and Dalen Everett jumped the route. It's incomplete. 16 seconds remaining.
Wow. Well, Dalen Everett had both hands on that football, nearly diffusing the scoring threat for Ole Miss. But unbelievable that Stribling's able to get behind the coverage. Chambliss with an accurate throw downfield. And they're now, as we've seen tonight, well within Carnero's range.
But in the first half, they didn't get out of bounds at the end of the half. There's 16 seconds to go in the 4th quarter at the 30-yard line. Out of timeouts. Chambliss takes the shotgun snap. Facing pressure, throws. It's incomplete. He throws it into the bench wisely as he was facing that pressure. With 13 seconds to go, it'll be 3rd and 10 Ole Miss at the Georgia 30. From here, it's about a 47, maybe a 48-yard attempt for Lucas Garnero.
You're right, Taylor. You think about the end of the first half. That ball's about 15 seconds left. They completed inbounds. Obviously, no way to stop the clock. Could not get the fire alarm field goal out there. Here you have to be smart. You'd have to hustle them out as well if you complete the ball inbounds and it's not a first.
Chambliss clapping his hands, takes the shotgun snap, throws downfield. It's incomplete. Again, it's just a quick throw, looking for Deshaun Stribling over his head. So it'll be 4th and 10 now.
Here we go, 48
seconds
yards
to go in the game. And here comes
for the
Lucas
semifinal,
Garnero,
Ole
the
Miss.
junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte, who has been outstanding this year. He is 26 of 29 kicking field goals and set a record this season, making 26 of them in a season. And he scored the most points in a season in Ole Miss history. This to give Ole Miss the lead, but Georgia will call a timeout. Georgia has 2 remaining, and there's 9 seconds to go in the game.
Incredible. We were talking about this offense can cover a lot of ground. You mentioned it, Taylor. They really only had to move it about 35 yards. They got a lot more than that. Got the ball back with 56 seconds. How they get that completion. It's been that kind of a night. Trinidad Chambliss able to make plays. It looked like he'd be dead to rights. Negative yardage plays. Buys time. Stribling has had a huge night. 122 yards, 7 catches. He's been the story over and over and over again in this game for the Ole Miss offense.
That last adjustment by Stribling on the last catch stage was massive.
Here is Garnero to give Ole Miss the lead and put them seconds away from the college football playoff semifinals. Carter Short will snap it back. Oscar Bird will hold it, and Garnero for the lead from 47 yards. He got it!
Wow. Ole Miss is going on in the semifinal.
Ole Miss leads Georgia 37-34 with 6 seconds remaining. The Rebels are 6 seconds away from going to the semifinals and playing in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl against the Miami Hurricanes.
Incredible. It's almost like you can win championships in a lot of schools. Ole Miss put in position, earned the chance to get here, finish the season strong. If we've learned anything this year, is that you can find a way, you can put teams together, and it doesn't really matter the circumstance. Sometimes guys are able to overcome it. And tonight, Ole Miss, down as much as 9 at one point in this game, able to find a way, 6 seconds left. Unbelievable finish here in the Sugar Bowl.
So Ole Miss will kick off, Carnero will kick off, and Georgia return men are waiting on it at the goal line. Again, we've had nothing but touchbacks in this game. And Carnero will kick it deep again, and Georgia will let it go and actually make the catch. It's Landon Roldan who's going to throw it back at the goal line. It's going to roll around, and it's going to bounce dead out of bounds. And Ole Miss has knocked off Georgia in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss upsets the Bulldogs, and they're moving on to the college football playoff semifinals.
Hold. Georgia had that game. Let it get away.
There are whistles down.
The game is not over.
Okay, you hear that?
It's not over.
Jeff Servinsky says the game is not over. They're putting a stage out on the field. Both head coaches just shook hands at midfield. Kirby Smart is congratulating the Ole Miss staff, but Jeff Servinsky says the game's not over.
Well, it was a backwards pass, obviously. Had to be.
The ball hit the pylon on the goal line, which would result in a safety for Ole Miss and make the final score 39-34. We sort all of this out for Pete Golding, the permanent head coach at Ole Miss, replacing Lane Kiffin. And as Lane walked away from Ole Miss after an 11-1 season, Golding becomes the head coach and now has won 2 playoff games and put the Rebels in the semifinals.
You know, Pete Golding made it a point when he was named the permanent head coach how excited he was for his coaches, like Charlie Weiss Jr. He's like, look, Charlie Weiss Jr. calls these plays. Lots made of Lane Kiffin in his role. This guy's got a chance to step out of that shadow. He's been calling these plays. Now it's known. What a game. What a job this coaching staff has been able to do. Many of them are now LSU coaches for all intents and purposes and will continue to have divided duties. And for these kids on this Ole Miss Rebel football team to put together that kind of effort, even in-game would have been difficult to overcome, and they did it. Just a remarkable performance.
Georgia had a 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line and unable to score a touchdown. Ole Miss was able to force a short field goal attempt that tied the game, and then with no timeouts remaining in the game, Trinidad Chambliss found Dejon Stribling for a 40-yard completion on a 3rd and 10 to put Lucas Carnero in position to win it. And Carnero, sensational tonight.
Yes.
Makes a 47-yard game-winning field goal on top of the Sugar Bowl record 55 and 56-yarders. Here's Serbinsky's call as we sort all of this out.
After review, the ruling of a field of a safety is confirmed. There'll be 2 points awarded to Ole Miss. The ball hit the pylon.
That's why they stopped it. There's a
remaining on the
safety.
game clock. Game clock operator, please reset the game
So Ole
clock.
Miss is going to win this by 5.
It'll be a free kick from the 20-yard line.
Okay, so Georgia's going to have to kick off down 5, 39-34, with 1 second to go in the game. Cole Kublik, you played 5 years for Auburn. You're a lifelong SEC man. You've worked in the Southeastern Conference for well over a decade. What do you think of what you witnessed tonight at the All-State Sugar Bowl?
Complete pandemonium right now to see both of these teams on the field and to see Ole Miss celebrate the way that they did and how these fans have
Guys, can we
reacted.
get
Just
50
the scene,
likes?
the back and forth between
appreciate it if you hit the like
Here a
button
couple
for
of
me.
times knows what this is like. An Ole Miss fan base that have been through a lot the last couple of
Appreciate
weeks.
that. Thank you.
Now with potentially so much to celebrate, we're going to have one more play to decide it. Unbelievable. Just the body
Hope you guys have a great New Year's with you and your family. Ole Miss is going to win this by 5.
They have to put the
Thank you guys for watching. I really
That's the
appreciate it.
reason for the delay. Teams with buys in the college